This is Drink Talk, where we try to solve the world's problems one drink at a time. Each week in this podcast, the topics of today and tomorrow are discussed while we sample some of the finest libations known to man. Join us. We are your hosts, Brian and Britt.
Check us out.
I love that little check us out.
Was that you were laughing a little bit? That was you, Sean?
I laugh every single time I hear that. Check us out. I like it.
Britt's little exit to the intro.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Drink Talk, people out there in Never Neverland.
Yes, episode 52. We're going to be doing the Into the Pint Glass Pint Club, or ITPG Pint Club. We have Sean here from Into the Pint Glass. He's been on the show several times before, so those of you that have watched before. We also have Grant, who is, if you raise your hand, Grant, people will see your hand. I don't think they can see the top of your head there. He's over here, too. He's going to be joining us. Yeah, Grant's been on the podcast a couple times before, so getting the band back together today. So, yeah, so let's talk briefly, not about all the drinks, but just in general, the drinks that we're going to be having today. How did we come up with these drinks, Sean?
Yeah, well, we just figured with the release of our Pint Club just this past week, we would feature different breweries that are the five main breweries that are helping to start the Pint Club. And then, some of their top beers that we've all liked of theirs. So
Nice. And we're going to talk about your Pint Club and what that is. And I think you put a little promotion out there. Do you want to talk about that, about the giveaway?
Oh, yeah. No, I saw that. I was like, can I win that?
It's too late. You already got it. But no, definitely anyone who's out watching us today, definitely shoot out some questions to us. We'll definitely answer any questions you have regarding the program on the air right now. And just definitely take Drink Up NE so we know, so I can enter you in for a opportunity to win a year membership to the Pint Club.
That's a hashtag.
Correct. Yep. Hashtag Drink Up NE.
Yep. And that stands for Drink Up Nebraska for the NE of the uninitiated crowd. What are we going to be drinking first? You had the list.
Well, sorry,
the fun part.
I was doing all this like organizing. I got like 14 things to do right when we start the program, so I'm like trying to think of quick, witty conversation topics, but also do other things here.
Yeah. Britt's a multitasking master. So I think the first one that we're going to be starting with was one of the ones that I picked up down at Pint 9. Those guys, I love going out there. Those guys are so cool. And he actually remembered me from back in December when I went there, which was pretty amazing. We're going to be drinking the Three Lions, which is an English bitter. So it's kind of the English version of an IPA. It's got more floral, fruity notes to it than an IPA here in America. Less hop forward than the IPAs here in America. So this is kind of a toned down, I guess, less hoppy, more bittery IPA for those of you with the IPA palate.
Sweet.
Does everybody have them?
Yeah.
All right.
Cheers,
Gerald.
Cheers, fellows. Clinky, clink.
Ooh. Oh, dear.
Clinky, clink. What was the name of the sommelier program for beer?
The Cicerone.
Yeah, the
program.
Cicerone program.
Yeah, I see you taking notes now here.
So I don't know. What I don't know is, I don't know if, and you, if I remember right, you've entered part of that?
I'm actually about to start, hopefully here in the next probably 2 to 2.5 weeks.
Excellent. I don't know at which level of that. That's a level. I feel like it's a level up, like you're
right. Level 1, level 2.
Super Mario. You know.
Sure.
I don't know at what point they put the emphasis on the color, but I know wine. That's a big thing. Is looking. You got to hold it up. You got to hold it to light. So I'm going to give this to the
Yeah, give it to the camera. Sorry, I had to get up there and do some readjustments here.
Yeah, that's good.
When we do the
People saw your face.
Well, when we do the road shows, when we come back, I always have to reset the camera, and we were kind of last minute, like, let's go. All right, press record. Cool. Now all of us are in the shot. How about that?
And there we go.
And there you go. And that was a good shot there, Grant. That was nice. Yeah, no, I like this one. This one's got a little bit of a bite. But it's smooth. It's like a weird description of bite but smooth.
Three Lions. I don't know how.
Three Lions.
I wonder how they got the name for that. Kind of like the Tiger's Paw, wasn't it? That was from Fernson Brewing Company.
Oh, right. Yeah. So yeah, and I had that on here too, and I wish I would have looked it up a little further. I guess I should have done my research beforehand, but I'm not going to.
Well, I was today. I downloaded all those videos because we had to restart twice.
Yeah.
And I patched them together.
Oh, nice. That'll be good.
Yeah.
Then when we put it on YouTube, it'll be all one video.
Has everybody been made out to the brewery to Pint 9 yet?
No.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
Actually
cool
went
place.
with you.
Oh, yeah, we haven't run there.
Yeah,
No.
that was actually a cool meeting.
Definitely.
So Saturday I had a little bit of time, so I ran out to Lucky Bucket and Pint 9 to get the beers for today. And I should probably restart that. The interesting thing was it was jam packed there for some reason. Was it because of the game? Do you think?
It was right around tour time, so on the weekends their tours get pretty busy.
Oh, gotcha.
Having people stop in for the afternoon tour on a
Sure.
Saturday.
And
for sure.
usually that's about like a 45-minute, hour-long tour.
I think theirs is about half an hour to 45
Mhm.
minutes.
Speed
I
it up.
haven't
Check it out.
done
That's
their
over
tour,
there.
but
We beered over there. All right, get out.
Yeah.
No, it's not like that.
So for the novice of the group, where is it?
So it's out in southwest Omaha, right off of the exit 442. So they have the whole 442
Nice.
kind of beer group now. That's Lucky Bucket, Infusion, Pint 9, Nebraska Brewing, Cross-Train.
Yeah,
Right
so
on
if
that
you're
area.
gonna go there, you just make a day of it
Yeah.
because there's a lot of breweries just to hit
Within
up
like
right
a
there.
mile of each other.
There's a business idea.
Oh.
Beer Tours Nebraska. It might already exist.
Yeah, people hire Ollie
in
the
the
Trolley to
works.
do it. They did that for beer.
It's a drink talk sub program.
Yeah, they did it for Omaha
Very
Beer
much
Week.
Awesome.
They have a couple of them. There's a company called Omaha Beer Bus, I want to believe. I don't know if they're still running. I saw a few things about them when I first moved to Omaha, but I haven't seen them out very often.
Yeah, I
so
can't
I'm
say
not
that
sure
I've
if they're
seen them
still
either.
if they're still doing it. But
No, I know
it's
downtown
primarily
you can
weekends.
get on that bike and ride around and pedal around.
pedal bob.
You just pedal off that beer. You don't have to worry about
It was a lot of fun, though. I actually did it one time.
Nice.
We had a group from where I work. We were taking out some of the sales ladies, and we're like, "Hey, let's just get one of those bikes, and we'll just, bar hop,
Yeah.
and just have fun with it." And it was, I think it was a Thursday. There was nothing going on Friday, so it was like, let's do it Thursday afternoon. And they were all totally down for it, and I had such a blast. I played the DJ, I had the music going.
What?
And,
You played the DJ?
Well, I don't
That's
know about
weird.
that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that little bike is pretty fun.
The funny thing about those is that it's fun for everybody who's on it, but everyone who's not just absolutely hates them. So
Oh, yeah.
I live in the old market down there, right by
It's like the
Brickway
horse and
upstream,
carriage,
and you look around and you're like, no, not another one, not another one, please. And then you hear that, yeah, bachelor party, or bachelor party.
I'll tell you what, it's a lot of fun because it gives more people to go to the bar.
No, it sure does.
No.
I'm just giving it a hard time.
Oh, yeah.
But it's
Well, it's just like the horse and buggy carriage.
It sure is, yeah.
If you get stuck behind it, you're stuck behind it.
But back to when I went to Lucky Bucket, the funny thing was it was just jam packed. So I found a spot at the bar and ordered up a drink, which actually we're going to be having here in a little bit. But I said I was part of the the pint club,
Pint Club.
and she made this motion. And I'm like, oh,
Whoever
okay.
finishes
That was
first gets
weird.
to finish the crowler.
There you go.
Is that how we're doing it?
And all of a sudden, I feel a hand on my shoulder, and there stands Sean right behind me. So I was like, look at that kind of timing. Just happened to pop in here, and he asked if I had been to Pint 9 yet to buy the beer there, and I said no. So he joined me down at Pint 9, and that was a good time.
Yeah.
Sean, do the microbrew? Is that the right term?
Well, they don't. So yeah,
we kind of got into that a little bit last
Yeah.
time, but okay,
So-
craft. Okay,
Craft brewers.
do our
independent.
I'm going to just
craft
go with
breweries.
breweries in Nebraska. What number are we up to?
Oh, I mean, there's 3 or 4 that are going up and either starting or coming down. So I think we're just under 50. I want to say
Wow.
altogether. Don't
So
quote
I'm
me on
curious,
that,
and
but-
this is not to put Sean on the spot. Does anybody know where Pint 9 were they the third brewery here? Were they one of the more recent?
Oh, in Omaha.
Oh, good luck
no,
with that
I mean
kind of
Nebraska.
information.
I'm a Nebraska guy.
Oh, so Nebraska as a whole,
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know.
they're fairly recent.
Yeah, Pint 9 opened.
They're probably the 92nd brewery. I don't know.
There's 50, dude. We just said that.
I don't know.
They just opened
Doubled the
last
number.
year.
You know where
so-
that came from right there.
Yeah.
He's not paying
No,
attention.
They opened just last year. So
Speaking of Pint 9, just right down from them is Vis Major, and I saw this morning the post for...
Cross-Train.
Or, yeah, what did I say? Vis
Vis
Major?
Major.
I meant Cross-Train.
Which is right next door, actually.
Yes.
to Pint.
I saw a post on Facebook that they're looking for a new brewer. So
They
if
sure
one wants to brew with Vis Major, go apply.
Oh yeah, no, they. I heard that too, and I was giving them a little hard time. on Twitter and some stuff about how their people are all right, but their beer's way better, and like just had to throw some bows. Kidding, of course. No, the crew there is awesome. I mean, they're great. They're killing it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think everybody's going gaga over that. The Fairy Nectar London double dry hop. Yeah,
it's so tasty.
It's like liquid hops. I mean, it's the best way to describe it. Liquid hops.
Last night I just had the super juice.
Super
I had
juice.
about two of those, and we had some friends come over, and
nice,
so good.
Well, let's jump into the Pint Club.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little about that? On how did you come up with the concept, and go from there.
Yeah. So basically, what we're really looking to do in the whole thing is we're looking to incorporate a Pint Club, a loyalty program for encouraging people to drink Nebraska craft beer when they're living here.
You have to continue that. Encouraging people to drink Nebraska craft
beer. Yeah, right.
Just not encouraging people to drink.
No. I mean, like, it's the whole drink what's around here. I mean, we have such a great product. It's just not. It's not quite yet recognized on a national level. Like, it's starting to get there. It's very close. Just a lot of people overlook Nebraska when it comes to craft breweries. Obviously, some of the big guys, Green Flash, thought that there's a good reason to come here from what's coming around, so that's why they're coming in the market besides their distribution.
I've heard a lot about this Green Flash. I mean, I've had some of their beer before. I don't, maybe just as the can doesn't appeal to me, or the bottle that it's in appeal to me, but I've had their IPA before, and it's good. Everybody just seems to rant and rave about Green Flash. In fact, we were just talking about it last week.
No, I think it's going to be interesting when they come out or when they open up, because with it being not a local Nebraska brewery, I mean, moving over here or adding a location, I'm interested to see how. Moving into what they moved into Plowshare Brewing's old location. Yeah. So just seeing what the local Lincoln, I don't know what the term is, Lincolnites. I don't know.
Sure, we'll call them Lincolnites.
Everyone from Lincoln there, like how they think or how they take or react to the new brewery. I think it'll be cool.
Yeah, because they've got some pretty good competition between Zipline. Blue Bloods has elevated their game, and there's a couple other ones out there, but those are the two.
Boiler that down there. I mean, White Elm. I mean, there's
White Elm.
Code Beer Co. 5168 just opened up, and they've got a lot of competition in the area, which is. I mean, I think it's bringing a lot of people's game up versus.
I have not had a chance to have that 5168. It looks
good stuff.
Yeah,
from
which is
what
actually that's the brewery from Local, the restaurant here in Omaha.
Yeah, you've been there.
Yeah, well, I've been to Local. I haven't been. So they're opening a tap room here in Omaha.
Where
in Midtown?
Midtown Crossing in the old.
Nice.
What was it called?
The old Bricks?
That one place?
I know, right?
It
was the ramen shop.
Yeah.
I can't think of what it's called now.
Yeah.
Noodles.
It's called the ramen shop.
Yeah. So they're opening there. I think this month still. Like hopefully, I think they're hoping on the 15th.
That'd be good
of March, but maybe a couple days.
I wonder
after.
if they're going to have competition for local. Because is there a local down there? I know there's one in Millard.
The local or the closest local would be downtown, right by the convention center there on the corner.
Right down on 9th Street.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too
right as you get off the interstate. It's right there. The interstate from coming in from Iowa.
Yep.
Okay.
Just that exit right there. It's
nice.
good. It's
nice.
good. They, I was very actually impressed with their menu down there. Yeah. We had not a holiday party, but we put on Kiewit's show. And then after Kiewit, all the guys, we got taken out for dinner. And some of the guys got cut a little earlier than others, so we were down there drinking, waiting for them to come. And I'm just like, wow, this is a decent beer selection here. So check out Local. They're good.
Yeah.
Good people.
They have a great lineup of beer from all across the state. I mean,
we just have to get your app in there.
We sure do.
Yeah,
we're working on that.
What is it? 48 beers on tap there. Local beers on tap, something like that.
Yeah, like 48 to 50, depending on which location.
And I had the Kangaroo Dropkick by 5168. That was a bit of fantastic.
It was it,
and it's a cool name.
Yeah, right. Kangaroo Dropkick.
Yep. Let's talk a little bit more about the Pint Club.
Yeah. So,
thanks, Grant.
Like, what is he doing over there?
Doing what he does. I like it.
Advertising things and stuff.
That's great.
He's showing off the.
Clarity. With that whole, encouraging people to drink locally. It's a hard thing to do with all the different great beers that are out there. So with every different brewery out there having their own kind of loyalty program or things like that. I was thinking about what I can do to try to help grow the community in general. So what I decided to do was create a community loyalty program where you're able to go from one brewery to the other. Also some tap rooms. Hopefully I'm working to try to get into some bottle shops as well. And even a couple of hotels to encourage, like short weekend trips to Omaha or short weekend trips to Lincoln, where then you can go from one place to another and be able to check out multiple places and get rewarded on a kind of a community basis versus just at that one location.
So, quick question. Some locations here in town already have a loyalty program that they do already. So if I buy, we'll just go with this major, if I buy a beer or a crowler, probably it's not their beers, just crowlers. If I buy a crowler from them, I get a point. After 10 points, I get a 1 penny crowler. After buying 10 crowlers. Now, does that work in conjunction with yours? So I got to get double points? Is that what you're saying?
That's up to each individual brewery. It's not necessarily set to work that way. I mean, I'm not trying to, when it comes to working with the breweries, I mean, if they're already giving a deal.
But see, yours is more for just a pint of beer. I don't know so I don't know if it would work if I bought a crowler.
I mean, and that's a good point good thought that I'll check with them to see what they're thinking. But.
I can answer that. Some will want it and some will not.
Yeah,
correct. I deal with this on. So part of my excitement to be here today was to talk about community in general. Yep. So there's a drinking community, right?
Yep.
And it's a supporting the agriculture and supporting the economic portion. So I'm familiar with this from a tag perspective.
Yeah.
So tag is a concept where you
together
go
a
on,
greater good.
Together a greater good. You go on and you hit, and they'll give 5%. And so absolutely there are some that they don't want you to double up, and there's some that are like, rock on, it's like double coupon day, like the more the merrier. So, I think that's up to each one, but I think it's going to be really important for you to get the management and then the training of those people on board, because that's where the rubber meets the road. So I know that very well from the tag community, that where it's not just the one decision maker, but it's bought into at the staff level that's daily interacting with the participants.
Yep.
That's when it gets pushed, and when that doesn't happen, it's flat.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that I've seen. We had our I guess you could say our, what do you call your dry rollout or whatever, soft release
soft launch
this past Thursday, and I didn't want to shove it down anybody's throat, so we're just kind of doing it softly on the side and working with the breweries to get things going, but wanted to still have people be able to start using it. And right away with the 5 breweries that we're releasing, kind of seeing what hiccups bringing a program like this into multiple locations is going to have, so that when we start to go to other areas, either once we go down to Lincoln, which we're working on as we speak, but also just reaching out to more breweries here in Omaha, seeing what kind of issues we had so that we can prevent those from happening again, and streamline it, make it go a lot faster for our community.
So what do the people get? Okay, so I was seeing there's 10 cups on there, and so if you get 10 pints of beer, what do you get?
So basically how it's working is anytime you go into their to our participating locations, you can get $1 off a full price pint. So it's
nice.
That's great.
It's not bad. I mean,
that doesn't have to be just happy hour. It's like anytime
you want. So
wow, that's awesome.
That technically does not add up with if they're doing a happy hour. That's they're doing $2 pints at a place or $2.50. Well, you're not going to get another $1 off. I mean, I can't ask the breweries to do that. That's not
you're starting to rob them
in their pockets at all. So, but based on that full price, so I mean, any weekends, any nights, anytime that they're not doing it, you get those rates.
I mean, there's the benefit right there.
Oh yeah.
For your membership, it was $4 or something like that.
So what we're doing right now is I really wanted to make it a reasonable price point, a lower barrier of entry for our guests, for our users, for the community, to get people who are maybe not necessarily into craft beer, or maybe they don't know a lot about our community or our breweries, to be like, hey, at that price, I might as well, and to try to.
If you drink 30
them.
beers in a year, it's paid for.
Well, and if you even think about it, I mean, we're doing $2.99 a month or $29.99 a year. So for $3 a month, less than $3 a month, I mean, if you buy 3 beers in the course of a month,
bam, you've paid for
it. Anything else is savings. So it's a definitely a good idea, and as you reach further, once you reach up to, we kind of limit the card at 10 stamps. I mean, of course, if you fill it up, you can restart. But once you reach 10 stamps or 10 beers across the location, you'll get a kind of a loyalty reward. Those rewards will vary depending on the location. Typically, they're going to be like a half-price crawler fill or $5 off of crawler. We're also looking at some places, some of the restaurants and stuff, maybe doing a free appetizer when you come in, with, of course, a purchase at the bar.
So my points are per location, or is it just
it's everywhere? So
okay, well, here's what it is. Let's say I buy 5 drinks at this major, but 2 at Pint 9.
Correct.
But then I want to cash in because I've made my 10 points different ways. But that one brewery that I went to, I only bought 1 drink from them. But it's okay?
You still can, yep. So it's
that's kind of cool then.
There was a little bit of a limit there that we didn't talk about.
Correct. I mean, just when it comes to drinking responsibly and drinking and driving and everything like that, like we are limiting it to getting a $3 or three beer discount per location per visit, and then a max of 5 across all partners in a 24-hour day period.
Gotcha. You don't want somebody sitting down drinking 10 beers at a place and racking up their
correct.
points.
I mean, we're trying to create a community that's responsible, but fun and responsible. We're not looking for the clientele who's just going to go there and get wrecked. I mean, hey, it happens to all of us, but but that's not the point of it. I mean, it's not trying to just make it a frat boy fraternity house environment. It's really trying to.
Frat boys can afford $30 a year. I didn't know.
I know.
And I think it plays off of some of the long-standing beer clubs that at some of the institutions, they'll give you 3 points a day.
Yep.
You can drink 15, you get 3 points a day.
Correct.
So
and
that's
I mean, they're
very,
not going to
very
say
practical.
no, but we're just to make it fair to the breweries and everything. We figured we had to limit a little bit.
Yeah, I think we're going to take a little bit of a break, and this commercial break brought to you by Electric Cloud by Lucky Bucket.
Yes.
So this is one of the new ones I had. If you've never been to Lucky Bucket, they have this giant chalkboard on the wall, and on one side I was reading all the beers, and I'm like, oh, I've had all these beers, but then I looked over to the right side of the board, and there's everything that I have never heard of from Lucky Bucket. So it must be that you said it was their experimental series. Is that
not experimental, but it's like just the right hand side is a lot of their newer beers that they're coming up with, which
gotcha
are pretty awesome.
yes, they are. So I chose with one of the ones that I like is an IPA, and this is a freestyle IPA. I'm not sure what that means there. I tried to find out from Lucky Bucket on their website a little bit more about this, but they don't have like a very extensive website.
It's not a caged IPA; it's a freestyle.
It's free range freestyle, a little bit of freestyle, but it is a 6%.
I will be rapping for you a little freestyle. Tie my shoe.
Yeah,
that's
old school.
Yeah, it's a Chinese rapper.
I think we showed it to him.
99 cents.
I think you showed his one time
at McDonald's, baby. Anyway,
yeah, it's a 6% ABV. I don't know what the IBUs on it are. I tried to find it on Untapped, and that's as far as I got on the description of the beer. But it is a delicious beer, and to that, wow,
yeah,
look how I didn't realize just how
crisp and clean.
It is so.
Like a
it's
light
almost
beer.
like a lager, is what it looks like.
It does look like that. It looks.
Is it not a? I missed that part of the
It's
story.
an IPA.
IPA, yeah.
Wow.
Shut the front door.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is good.
Right?
That has got some major citrus going on there.
Yep. Almost a little bit of a sweetness to it.
Yeah.
It's
very drinkable.
Very refreshing. This is a summer IPA, really.
Yeah,
hot day IPA.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That should have been the name. Hot Day IPA.
See, we're coming up with names.
I
for all these
like that.
I like that. No, it's
copyrighted. We've got it. So we got it on recording.
Mm-hmm.
No, when we did it. Yeah,
That's
super clean.
very
That
light.
is super clean. That is. I haven't had an IPA like that.
Yeah, check it out. Electric
That's
Cloud Freestyle IPA by Lucky Bucket. Yeah, I'm
You like that, Grant?
Yeah, I do, because I'm not the that's actually part of my challenge on I keep saying microbrew, the craft brew.
It's fine
front.
if you want to call
No,
it.
I
Call
know.
what you want.
I'm not a huge IPA guy, and obviously a lot of the momentum has been around the IPA movement, and so that's unique, and I like it a lot. I'm the guy that comes in and order. I'm like, you got a hefe, you got a lager, you got a sour. Those are my three.
We're gonna have a sour in one of these. So.
I'm looking.
Yep. I do like the comment, Megan. Actually,
Yeah,
Megan,
we
the bargain boozing.
Bargain boozing.
Yeah,
I like that.
Absolutely.
That's pretty good, Megan.
I have a question just from this community, and I always think of I think they were one of the first two. Do we consider Upstream a craft brew place?
Yeah. They were one of the originals here in Nebraska. I mean, obviously we had some of the old school, but
sure.
Of the mainstays, modern day.
I just wondered that. I mean, I think there's a lot of. I don't know that. That place, it's an institution where it is, and obviously they tried a second location, and for whatever reason, that's.
I can't imagine the
right,
rent.
yeah.
I can't imagine the rent there. I mean, that place was huge and amazingly awesome.
Yeah,
3 stories. It was 3 stories. I mean, they had a basement and then 2 stories on top
They're
of that.
so cool. It's such a cool place.
Yeah.
Went there a lot.
Yeah, I loved it, and I think
it was the rent. I think.
And so they've probably been around 25 years.
A long time.
I think it was close to 25.
And so I'm excited to hear that they're still part of this. And so it'll be interesting to see if we can get them in that community. I don't know. I'd love to try.
As would I. I mean, one thing with Upstream is when a lot of people look at it from a craft beer standpoint is. They have such a focus on the food, the restaurant. They have such a space.
Absolutely.
But what they've been doing with their seasonal beers and their specialty beers has been incredible lately. I mean, they just
what happened?
Excuse me. Gotcha. With this past spring past fall. They had won a couple of awards with won the Chicago Beer Fest for their barrel aged beers, where they actually got 2 gold medals.
What? Just ask me, Brian. Go right
they
ahead.
are.
Yeah, you were like
Yeah,
you were like
sorry.
cut me out.
No, so
What do you need?
it will look like the videos here are getting a little choppy, so I was just cutting this off.
Oh, gotcha.
We
got a lot of people on Wi-Fi here.
They're
so I'm
they're kind of
shutting that one.
they're kind of the
It's all good.
they're kind of the OG.
Very much.
Speaking of which,
I've got the comments.
do we
and stuff
usually
right here
have
too, Brian,
do we
so.
usually have music flowing?
Yeah, we do have.
it's going.
Brian was like over here going like cut. I'm like, I turned his microphone off. I turned his.
That's why I pointed at this first, and then I went cutting it off.
I don't know what runs your music. You got iPads everywhere.
I do. I know.
Ready for a
I need a couple
massage.
more.
It's all good.
Well, let's talk. So we were talking a little bit about the different breweries, and we really haven't gotten to the list of how many breweries are participating right now into the Pint Club.
Yeah, so for that first release, that initial release, to really work out those kinks, we limited to 5 breweries. I picked breweries that I spoke to that certain characteristics I liked, not necessarily more than other breweries, just something that reminded me of myself or my upbringing. So like Pint 9. I guess I'll start from the beginning. We have Brickway Brewing and Distillery in the old
Don't
market
forget the
there.
and distillery.
Yep, and hey, they've got some awesome spirits there. We've got Farnham House, right in the Blackstone district,
And Beertopia corner there.
right by Beertopia.
Yep.
You got. Then we've got Lucky Bucket, out in
Wow.
La Vista.
southwest
That's
or
a
La
big.
Vista.
I mean, if you got that, you're legit. You're on the map.
And they've been very, very supportive about everything. Pint 9, and then Vice Major Brewing to start. Starting next Friday, actually, we'll be having Scriptown Brewing in Blackstone joining in on as well.
That's cool. I
So
haven't been there in a
they'll be
while,
sixth.
but over there by Corkscrew, right? Isn't there a Corkscrew? It's kind of a couple down there, couple doors
Yeah,
down.
I think it's like a bay or two down, right
Yeah.
next to the coffee shop and everything.
Yeah. What's is that going to be is it going to be an every Friday release, or is it going to be every other week, once a month? Are you adding?
At first it's going to be a faster release because I do have some meetings scheduled with other breweries, both here and in Lincoln, as well as some tap rooms. So
That was going to be another question of mine. Is this just going to be in Omaha, or is this you're expanding out to all of Nebraska, right?
So I'm still contemplating on whether we do all of Nebraska or if we just kind of stick to at first the two major hubs.
This is really good.
I mean, there's some benefits of doing both. I mean, I certainly want to continue to support the some of the smaller cities, but at the same time, I mean, I don't know if I'd have to really make sure that they would benefit enough from
Absolutely.
a program such like this.
Well, start small and get big.
Exactly.
Start small. And get big. Start here
and that's where I want to
branch.
back up. This is part of something else you've been doing. So this is not your first launch. What's the community that you're building that this is on the second step of?
Yeah, so we started our website back last fall, really having kind of a catalog of Nebraska craft breweries. So we did do it on a statewide basis. We did have some, like any company, especially anything working with electronics or apps. Like we were in the process of building an app and had some kind of
because that's originally
unfortunate events that kind of pushed that back.
The series
That's-
of unfortunate
yeah.
events.
And that was the
What a good
original.
movie.
I cry every night.
That was the original the episode that you were on was when you were building in the process
that
and you were
was-
getting ready to release, and I know you had some major setbacks on
setbacks, but
Yep.
that's still in the works for the future.
Well, it'd be a nice
it's just gonna-
piggyback into the Pint Club membership. You could just very easily roll that into the.
Correct, and so we were originally going to do the app first and then the membership program, but because that's taking a little bit longer than planned, then we realized that we could start the membership program with our users and start building that community that way before we have the app, and then we can use the app to kind of reach out of state to bring people up from places like Kansas City, bring them to Nebraska to do weekend trips from Des Moines, Iowa, from parts of South Dakota, North Dakota, Minneapolis, to come visit and help with that kind of tourism of the state, and that can kind of be
that's great.
The term
'Cause I don't know anybody
second
that's doing
season
that.
versus or the second step versus the primary step, I guess.
So I'm always the guy that starts with the base question. Is this your day job?
Oh, no, not at all. I wish.
Someday,
Hopefully,
maybe, right?
hopefully.
I
No,
wish my job was to go around and drink beer and
I know, right?
have an app that
Didn't
does it.
Homer Simpson have one where he was the beer taster? Maybe it was probably
It was
a
one of
Family
those-
Guy.
Family, I think it was Family
Pawtucket
Guy.
Brewery, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and they also had there was a guy, was it HGTV or something like that, who got paid to go around the world, go to breweries, and just kind of rate
You
the
want
brewery.
another one of
and-
those? That was
and
good.
bar.
I think I need one more. You think
Well,
we need one more?
that's-
I think
that's,
I need
I
one
think you
more.
need one more.
The show 3 sheets.
Oh,
yeah.
that was such a
That's-
good show.
You know,
They're
such a
actually
good-
auctioning to get that back on the show. Like
hope-
people are like,
Really?
I think there's a GoFundMe page, and they're Zate Lembry.
Okay, I
Yeah.
will look that up and help fund.
I will definitely help fund that, man.
You know,
It was hilarious.
one of the,
he had these little corks, like you look for the monkey in the corner, and you're like, that's when you drink. And
Oh yeah, no, that was a cool show.
his
actually.
stories were hilarious.
Very
one
much
of my favorite names for a show was Two Drink Minimum, which was a comedic show, and it was like all about late night stand up comedy and all that. But I just always loved the name Two Drink Minimum because I was like, that's perfect.
Yeah, no.
Well, and it's kind of nice. We're doing actually 2 drinks per crowler or growler, which
Yeah, I don't think
we're
need to-
drinking like 3 or 4 ounce pours, maybe.
I think,
you know?
well, not even that. These are probably 2 to 3. Yeah.
Yeah,
Something like that.
Yep.
So
I think I got the.
we're
I think I
doing
got the big
halvesies.
boy
We're doing
one.
halvesies.
the big boy.
Yeah.
Well, these are all Beer Fest cups.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every single one of us has a Beer Fest cup.
What does everyone have?
So I've got Beer Fest at the Horseman's Park.
Oh, I was at that one.
Yeah, that was a fun
really
one.
Fun
Yeah,
last year.
it
What do
was.
you got there?
I got the 2014 Great Nebraska Beer Fest.
Oh,
There you
that
go.
one. That one was at Warner Park.
Warner Park.
Brian.
I've got the newest one, the one that was just last weekend.
Oh, the Extreme Beer Fest.
Extreme Beer Fest
That was
hosted by Beertopia.
Hey, did you go to that?
He was unavailable.
Do you know?
I thought you were there.
Do you know that
Real life job.
there is it's past extreme. There's super extreme beer fest. We had this low.
It's the Extreme Beer Fest.
Yeah, we had this.
Ludicrous.
Yeah, we had this about 15 years ago at a buddy of mine's house. We'll just call him A. We had this at A's house. Super Extreme Beer Fest is absolutely what we called this.
Yeah.
It was an epic night.
I
bet.
bet.
I believe.
A night to remember. It was actually one of the first times. I was 20 something, early 20s. That was one of my first nights playing beer die, and we played a lot of beer die and beer pong. So when you need both in one setting.
Well, let's talk a little bit about how Britt and I.
We still have one more
Oh, yeah.
cup here.
Yeah,
Oh.
so I have the 2016 Omaha Beer Week there, the 10th annual Extreme Beer Fest. So
Oh yeah. Okay,
that's
so that was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Nice. So talking about epic nights. So last weekend, Britt and I started our Saturday interviewing Derek from Fernson Brewing Company up in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So we ended up having 3 beers during that. Now we Ubered everywhere, so just to put all those aside, we Ubered everywhere.
Yeah,
and
because we needed to.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, we did our thing down at Spirit World. I remember the name.
All right.
I ice skated to Spirit World because we got that little drizzle in the morning and it iced over. So yeah, I literally ice skated down there.
Right. So from there, then we all went back to Britt's house, and we it was me and Britt and our brother-in-law Eric and one of his buddies. And we all ate lunch, and then we went to Extreme Beer Fest from 3 to 8. And then after that, we came back to Britt's place, hopped on the microphones, and played "What's in My Pockets" from all the swag that you get from there.
Oh yeah.
And we had another 3 beers.
Yep.
And by the end of the night, I was feeling pretty good. But then I woke up Sunday morning. I was like, looking back at how much I drank, I feel pretty good.
Yeah, no, I felt pretty good too.
I drank so much water though, like I was doing it right. I drank a ton of water. So that's
what's in my pocket. And I actually literally about 2 hours ago cleaned that mess up. It sat here for an entire week. I'm just like,
it smelled wonderful.
Well, it was just trash. It was just stuff from your pockets and things of that nature.
What's in my pockets?
What's in my pockets? You guys feel free to jump back on my Wi-Fi. I went to Hardline, so there you go. Good to go.
Nice.
Good plan.
Anyway, Brian, you were saying something you were about to, and then I was like, hey, cup.
That was what it was. I was
gotcha,
talking.
gotcha.
Yeah, I was talking about the Saturday. Somebody's sound is on. Is that on your laptop?
That is.
I'm hearing
That's me. My bad, guys.
I'm like, what
I was like, why am I
on?
hearing an echo?
It was
Hello?
showing. It was playing automatically.
Echo.
Nice.
No worries.
Is there Lincoln's next? Is that what you were saying?
So we're still definitely working on Omaha. Obviously, I mean, there's different
There's
levels
many
of
more
it.
places in Omaha to go to.
There is, and I mean, the big I guess goal of it is we want to get people to the breweries. I mean,
Right.
that's where it's made. You get such a great experience when you go to a brewery and you meet either a tap room manager or you meet that brewer who's just sitting down for their shift beer before they leave for the night. After
Make it
brewing,
worthwhile for people to go there.
Correct, and we really want to focus on that first. We are looking to expand, like I said, to tap rooms. I'm still finalizing the kind of requirements to do that. We're not going to throw it just at every beer place that claims to have craft beer. Like, we really want to focus on Nebraska beer, and our discount needs to be on Nebraska beer. So if you go to maybe a casual pint, or you're to go to a Omaha Tap House, like, they can certainly give that discount to encourage people to go, but it would be on our Nebraska craft beer, not a beer from California, Minnesota, wherever else.
It's just a Nebraska beer. Speaking of that, our listeners out there that are from Nebraska and do Nebraska brewing and all that sort of stuff, not Nebraska Brewing Company, I'm just
brewers.
saying Nebraska brewers that have their beer out somewhere or own a brewery or things of that nature, how do they get in contact with you?
Yeah, so
Great question.
There's
How do we get you
oh, very good. So right now it is live on our website. What
is your website?
So it's intothepintglass.com.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, it's just the name of it.com, and right on our Pint Club page.
And you've got a Facebook page too, don't you?
Yep, we do have Facebook, which I am trying to get better at. I still
you have
Facebook confuses me.
You have
I can help you with that. I got a business. I've got these clients called Drink Talk. You should hear what I charge.
Oh,
it's nothing.
A lot.
it's
free beer.
But actually, I did hire a friend. It's an interesting. That's growing any business, growing any brand is a tough thing, and it's not because the tools aren't there.
All right, Jackie, I see that. Let's talk more booze.
I heard
we'll do that.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah.
And these are not shots.
Drinky.
Also, these are just the sample glasses. These are not shots. These are sample glasses for Beer Fest.
How many are we drinking tonight?
3,
5,
2. Grant,
one.
Are you cutting me off?
No. It's
2 drink minimum.
All right.
There
We were
go.
talking about this earlier. Vis Major.
I love the crawlers. Just a subtle difference of having a gold can with that navy blue.
With gold
It
inlay.
is so
Grant
cool.
needs to show them the
crawler.
Like,
yeah.
they have such a good
It is-
branding.
yeah.
Right now it's pretty incredible.
beautiful.
And it's just a subtle difference. I mean, instead of a silver can, you got a gold can.
Well, and I think that's called a backlay or it's a relief. It's really what it's called is a relief. So if you go back to like think of like a sculpture, you can make the David out of, cut everything away and you've got the David there. Or you can leave the front and carve back in. That's essentially what this is they've taken this beautiful can, they've overlaid an absolutely gorgeous, I don't even know, is that blue? I think it's a dark blue,
navy
green,
blue.
navy blue, and then they've reliefed in that, and it's very inspiring, I suppose is the word I'm looking for.
Well, it almost looks rustic too. I already held it up to the camera. I got it up in that light there. But yeah,
Grant
it almost
is
looks,
Arvana white today.
Oh yeah, he is Arvana white. So thank you. But yeah, it reminds me of an older time.
Very much
the golden era.
So the coolest thing about this is, if I can see this here, so I was there and I think I did a couple posts on Twitter and stuff about how I cover my computer cover, my case, and all of the different Nebraska craft brewery labels.
As you do.
I went to Vice Major, and I'm like, hey, so I need to get a sticker for me. They're, well, we don't have a sticker. I'm like, okay, well, why don't we have a sticker yet? So
I've got 18 stickers right here.
I know, right? So when I was asking them, they're like, well, we don't have stickers. So I'm like, well, what about a crawler label? So I actually made a customized sticker where they gave me the crawler label and I just cut right around the logo, and it's the coolest thing ever. And I've gone to like numerous coffee shops and stuff and working at different breweries, and people are like, whoa, where'd you get that sticker? Where'd you get that sticker? I'm like,
Hey, and at Extreme Beer Fest, they were handing out stickers.
Were they? Okay, see, that mine was before they had the stickers. I might be jealous
Well,
now.
what are we drinking here, Brett? This is your.
Oh yeah, this is the London Elixir. This is what I had.
beer.
Yeah, this is some good stuff. It's a 6.6 ABV, and it's amazingly awesome.
Yeah,
and
62 IBUs, so it's a little bit up there, but not too bad.
To call it an elixir,
it's a little bit more.
I like the name elixir. That's pretty cool.
And just for Mike, it also falls under the IPA.
It does.
Yeah,
It is an American IPA. Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Do they know what the I of
juicy.
IPA is?
It's
What is that? Pause. Time out. Dumb.
Guy.
Can I say S?
Just
Dumb silly guy question.
There we go.
DS question, as my father-in-law would say it, so he can say it around his
There you go.
grandkids.
There you go. We can use acronyms.
DS question. An American Indian pale.
Yes.
Like,
So what
I mean,
the-
let's put those words. Like,
so
an American Indian is a Native American, but I don't think that's what they mean by this.
No,
so
so-
just
so Grant.
walk with me.
An IPA, yes, it's an Indian Pale Ale that came from India. They put a lot of hops in it,
Well, it
so
didn't
they could
come from India, but yes.
so they could ship. Yeah, it came from New England, and so they could ship it. You know, it was
Right,
it was a
I'm
way
familiar
of
with that.
so. But now this is the Americanized version of it.
So what the American IPA really is this. So IPA is the style. The American IPA, they just use more American hops in it.
Yeah.
That's why they call it that.
Hey, so you guys, again, I'm the resident DS, dude, something.
As long as you're not saying DTF, but whatever.
Wow. I have stories about being an Uber driver because your guy right here that you can't see is an Uber driver.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that is a topic. That stories from the Uber driver.
Well, it's like a taxi cab confessional,
It is
right? If you had the camera in the car, it'd be all good like that.
Yes. So, what the heck did you ask me? Because I got lost on that.
I know. I don't know.
DS question. I don't remember. I lost.
We were talking about hops and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Hops. So I'm looking for something.
I know, that's what we were looking at.
Sorry, we were looking at the
Lord,
feed
now.
here.
So remember my reason here is community. So I asked a gal by the name of Lori, who is connected to some of you here at this spot, to join us tonight because she's part of an organization that builds community in the business community here. And I love community. I am a junkie for community. The pot community, the religious communities.
It doesn't
of all
matter what
kinds.
The YP Summit community.
The YP Summit community, the pickle community.
Any community, yeah?
Yeah, right. So I am a community junkie, hashtag. So I'm curious. So communities have to have things that add assets that are unique. So I remember we have a hop shortage.
What?
a hops shortage? Is
Here in
that,
Nebraska
Yes.
or here in the United States?
I don't know.
Here in the United States.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
So does Nebraska grow like? Let me. I want to go back to that part of why we're supporting the Nebraska brewing community and dollar discounts and what was the cheap beer hashtag cheap beer discount, whatever it was, but discount drinks hashtag discount drinks. I'm on my JT and
Bargain
anybody watch
Yeah.
JT and Fallon,
That's
like
right,
they
yeah.
have whole conversations. Hashtag Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
So
It was
I'm just
bargain boozing
So
is
I'm
what
just
it was.
curious, like
Bargain
talk
boozing.
about that. Talk about the hops, because I mean
Sure.
that's where I'm coming from with that is the whole IPA, but then the American IPA uses American hops. So just
Right, so
you guys
the-
that know a lot more than me.
Hops, I think the number 1 and number 2 state for hops growing right now in the United States is Washington
Good thing going
State and Oregon. And I think a lot of that has to do with the climate, the wetness of the climates. They've also been doing it for a lot of years. Nebraska hops growers have been doing it maybe 5 years. Maybe.
That's what I think, like 5 years.
Yeah,
or
maybe
something.
5 years. And I believe that it takes, I don't know if you would know.
I don't know off the top of
like
my head, but
it takes a couple years just to have a viable crop for the first time.
All right, so future topic. We must get a hops farmer. For
Oh,
Nebraska.
absolutely!
I would love that.
absolutely. And there
Grant,
since-
work on that for me, would you?
Well, we are
Tell us what's up.
we are pretty close. There are some hops farmers that are not far off. They're within an hour or so drive. So we could definitely
Meet halfway.
or there or whatever. Do it from the barn, whatever. So as long as you got Wi-Fi in the barn, done.
Yeah, right?
No.
Or run a cable. Britt's got a 500-foot cable. We can
Yeah,
get this.
we can get it.
Yeah. So
It's about 330.
I think a
30
lot
feet.
of the climate here in Nebraska is not good for hops growing.
Well,
they're
here's-
getting better. They're
you-
getting
you-
better.
You've only got a short timeline,
Right.
You've got
Right.
this.
Season.
Whereas if you're out in California or Arizona, you've got all year long.
Yep.
You know.
Careful there, Grant. Don't.
Yeah, right.
Or Vanna.
Don't spill it.
Yeah, careful, Vanna.
Don't. Careful.
So it's kind of like vineyards here in Nebraska. Can we grow wine?
Yes.
Or not grow wine. Grow grapes here in Nebraska? Yes, we can.
Is
Are
it
those
great wine?
So one of the things I feel like I add to the drink community is I drink wine, a lot of wine. We gotta have a wine tasting.
We haven't had a wine. We've only had one wine show, and it really was sangria. It wasn't wine.
That wasn't even
That
wine.
is not wine. So
Not at all.
my father-in-law used
I'm
to
just
teach.
saying.
No.
had wine
was
in it?
wine based.
That's as good as I get.
My father-in-law
No, I'm just
used to teach college level courses on wine.
Nice.
And my brother-in-law has a cellar that's twice as big as my father-in-law. So
It's not the size that counts.
it's the quality.
It's the quality that
It's not the length. It's the girth. I don't remember. So anyway,
Like a tuna can?
hey, that's what she said. So
Anyway.
Brian, I'm staring away from those words. So
We're doing a good job too.
yeah. So back to the wine thing. Like, I lost it. Oh no, I got it. I got it back. I got it back.
Threw him
Wah,
off his-
wah,
there he
wah,
goes.
wah. I got it back.
Your flashlight's on.
It's yeah, thanks. I got it back. It's
Is that just your
did
flashlight?
you
You're
did
happy to
you
see me?
know, and you may or may not know
Okay, it's his
that
flashlight.
Germany has elevated itself in the wine growing community. Why? Because there have been some climate change. I am not going down that topic right now.
Yeah.
I don't care if we ever take that one because
Chemtrails.
yeah, whatever. Exactly. We're staying away.
Weather modification. Hashtag.
Hashtag chemtrails. But without a doubt, Germany is more competitive as a wine growing region today than they were 30, 40. The beauty of wine, they have hundreds of years of data gathering and competitive intel. Now,
Wait a minute.
American is only 200 years.
Well, here's
in
the
America.
here's the problem. Half of California was on fire,
Well,
so
and
there goes that
that's going to set
suffrage.
us back for
Yeah.
quite a time.
Right. No, I understand that. I understand old
Minnesota's
vines.
great.
I understand a lot of that stuff. But my point simply is back to Nebraska and hops versus Oregon and other things. Over time, stuff changes.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Over time,
Yeah.
stuff changes.
And as we've seen, like this winter was an unusual winter for us here in Nebraska.
You can't just go swimming in the ocean anymore.
Well, yeah, no, you can't.
Darn Fukushima.
In any body of water nowadays, it's tough to really go swimming in.
Right.
Is it Fukudome?
Fukushima? You don't know about that?
I don't.
We'll teach
Yes,
you
teach
Teach
about
me
that.
that later.
All right, what's the next one?
Yeah.
We're all getting pretty. Are we doing the next
good.
one? Or are we still doing?
Let's just finish this up. This
Okay.
London Elixir is amazing.
It is
So
pretty good.
we're-
It is pretty good. I don't know
I mean, one
between,
crowler between
yeah.
four guys. It's only we're doing half a cup of beer.
between the Electric Cloud and the London Elixir. That's a tough call.
So getting back onto craft beer, guys.
Yeah,
Nothing
well-
against wine, but
well to
did you
bring-
guys?
way to bring us back in there.
I know, right? Did you guys go to any Omaha Beer Week events?
So I had to work a lot, but it was just the Extreme Beer Fest, which was basically the apex, the ending of.
I was able to get out to the Fernson beer tap takeover at Spirit World.
Nice.
Time out. Are you on call
This weekend?
right now at
Yes.
this moment?
Yeah. Well, yes. But,
So you might make a call to a family member at this immediate moment.
yeah, and I don't know what people.
I was just curious. I mean, I know we don't divulge a lot about our day jobs.
Yeah,
you know, we established that this is not Sean's day job, despite his and Britt's
This is
desire.
none of our day jobs.
Yeah.
I would be
not-
cool if I made money on this. This would be really cool.
You don't know that this is my day.
You don't know that this is my day. I don't do anything.
I'm
to
paying
it.
you to be here? What?
Well, in a sense, we're paying by the grain.
Oh, yeah. You got free beer out of the deal, so, you know, hey.
Oh, what is this?
This is the London Elixir.
It's
The same stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
You know, it's similar. So again, I'm the novice. That looks like a Heffa. The area.
We're gonna do two.
And that's why you like it, because it's not as the bitterness it's pretty low, and you know we'll try.
So
a
give me
couple
that.
of them
Give me
it gets
give me that
higher
scale
up
again,
where
because you're a good teacher
the
about
IBUs
that.
there, where it's just like, I mean, I don't know what from low to high. I mean, that's where I'm not necessarily the most qualified, but I'm trying to learn it.
Yeah.
So,
62. If you're
right,
talking
is-
just your basic IPA, because there's the double IPAs that are like way off the charts as far as the IPA. Yeah, well, anything over like 95,
90, yeah.
really your palate can't really
Yeah.
distinguish. But 62 is kind of the upper range, but nowadays people are throwing so many hops, which is probably why we're having a hop shortage. They're throwing so many hops into beers.
We figured it out.
Yeah, that 62 nowadays is probably mid high now instead of the high range.
Well, we're always going to continue to have more and more breweries come on the scene.
Right.
So are we having more and more hop farms grow? you know, yeah, exactly. We figured out the problem.
But no, we're not going to have more and more
breweries, less
breweries.
product.
We're going to have more and more breweries if Sean kicks it. If this underlying concept and this community, if we want it, we'll have it. If we don't want it, we won't have it.
Well, and it's amazing the amount of competition out there. Like
Just say
the
this.
the good beers are going to really skyrocket,
No, it's
oh, I thought
and
it
the
was
ones that are mediocre are just going to kind of vanish.
gonna say.
Oh my gosh, this is by far
I thought it was the bake from the
the
popcorn.
feed.
the best feed ever.
Yeah. I thought it was the popcorn.
I'm not
Right.
single, but I want to engage in conversation like I'm single just for a moment. My wife will forgive me. So, Jackie, if you are still around, just, I want it to be, I want my wife to be able to examine the record. So you and I need to engage on this back and forth on this thing.
On a different.
Keep it. Now, hey, now.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So this cross train was handing those out. It's a brown bag, but it's insulated. So I mean, it's perfect for their crowlers. Mm-hmm.
I thought at first when you were going to give it to me that was the
Popcorn
truffle
bag.
pop bag. So I was like, oh, smell it. It's so good. But no.
I'm like, what are you doing over there?
Can we do a future topic on Apple? Just
Sure.
the whole
Apple
topic on
products?
Apple.
Sure, why
Apple.
not?
Just
Why not?
Apple.
Oh yes, I
The
have.
love, the hate, the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
love
I mean,
that.
heck, our whole show is based on an apple. You know.
Yeah. Multiple.
Literally, you're over there.
And Grant.
We screwed up.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. There goes the video feed. Vanna White has taken down the video feed. We will be with you in just a second.
He
folks.
gone.
Hey,
He gone.
Bear with us.
It's awesome. Watch. Oh, we're gonna come back.
He gone.
All right, back. We're back.
Yeah. And
All right.
we're
So,
back.
for what it's worth, I am not the host of this thing. I am but a guest.
Yep.
And
That was actually a pretty good placement there, Brett.
That's hilarious.
Britt has like these test tubes, like right up by the feed. So I'm gonna move these
Brittany, you didn't finish the booze in
because
them, by
we've
the way.
learned that showing
that?
the wine is good.
The test tube. There's still stuff in it.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh well, snap, crackle,
Come on now,
pop.
man.
Well, I'll take a little sip.
Yeah.
So what are these? These are.
We did a whiskey sampling.
Yeah. So
I'll tell you what.
at the begin- at
That
the-
is good marketing right there.
for our New Year's Eve special. We did
cool.
we did test tubes of whiskey here, and there's 5 different kinds, and it came in a box. It was $50. It was sweet. I got to try 5 different kinds of whiskeys
For $50?
for $50, and they're
Heck
all award-winning whiskeys,
Was the New Year's Eve special the year in review?
and some were double award whiskeys.
Yes, the New Year's Eve special was the year in
That
review.
I caught I caught half of that 3-hour marathon.
It
Was
was.
it 3
It was. It was almost 3 hours.
It was
man.
darn long.
It was-
Sometimes.
it was over 2.5.
That's great. So that's such a long
Darn
time.
tootin'.
It goes
That's right.
quick, but
You know, it's amazing how quick this show goes. Like when we were in doing our time off episode up in Minnesota,
good place, Minnesota.
we did 3 hours, and we got done and we're like, that was 3 hours. Like the Facebook Live cut out after about an hour and a half. Because at the time, Facebook, that's all they did was an hour and a half. Otherwise, they were like, what are you, just watching the dog? You know, like, I don't know what you're doing with this Facebook Live. Now Facebook Live has figured it out. They're like, oh, people want to kind of go longer than an hour or hour and a half.
Is this right now? He needs a sippy cup. Keep it together. No last names. Come on, Megan.
Are we ready for the next
Yeah.
one? Is that
Yeah.
This commercial break brought to you by Lost Galaxy by Vis Major.
Yes, we're going to stick with Vis Major because we got to get the word out with them. In fact, we need to get over to their brewery.
I know. Well,
Lindsay, if you're watching,
I did email them and waiting to hear back.
we'll hear back soon.
So any of you that need to get to Vis Major, I guess we should talk about where these are all located.
Yep, this is on 35th and Center.
Yeah, it's they bill themselves as their neighborhood bar. They serve rotella bread.
If you guys know where
It's a Rodella. Since when? 1921.
if you know,
I might advertise on another station that Rotella's is a. We're not even on a station. We're on Zuck station. So I might advertise in a show that Rotella's is also a sponsor, and they have incredible ads. Since when?
they got great bread.
They do.
They have incredible
They do.
bread.
They also have some gourmet popcorn there at Vis Major, which is pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah, truffle
not
pop.
Rotella's.
Vis Major.
If you know where the old movie theater was on 35th and Center, which is now like a place where they just have auctions and stuff, it's right across the street from that.
We
The theater
we
there.
failed to clinky before
Yeah,
we
that's-
drinky.
Well, we haven't filled this cup
Party
yet.
foul.
I know.
Oh, we didn't even get Never in beer yet.
Oh, I kind of filled that one up right to the brim.
All right. Cheers, gentlemen.
Yes.
Wow, this is a very hazy yellow beer.
Oh, a lot more citrusy than the last one. A lot juicier.
Oh yeah, I get the juice. Yeah.
It's like a
You like
it's
a
like
juice?
a juice slam.
All right, Facebook audience.
Yeah.
That's really good.
I'd like drink this in the morning for my morning juice. Yeah.
You'd have a
Way
short
to
day.
If I wouldn't get fired for because I've been drinking.
You know, you should be your own boss.
worth it.
It goes over well.
What's the definition of an alcoholic?
Ouch.
Is there a difference between an alcoholic and functional? So, caution, everyone. I'm about to go back up to the camera, so watch out.
Why'd you stay a distance from
Well,
it?
you don't have all the test tubes in front of you anymore.
That's right. Yeah.
Nice
All
work.
right.
All right. Nice work. Nice
There
work.
we
Very
go.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just keep those tubes down. Keep the tubes.
Put them back later.
That's pretty.
Put
That's
the
a pretty good
tubes
one. I like the goat. Nice. You got the goat. Excellent.
Got the goat.
It's like Tom Brady got on my cup. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh.
So that's our third.
Yeah. So we 3 Lions, Electric Cloud, London
our fourth.
Elixir, the Lost Galaxy.
No, but that
yeah.
was our third IPA. So
Yes,
of
third
the three,
IPA.
which is your favorite IPA so far?
Ooh.
Grant. Paging
The one
Dr.
who doesn't
Grant.
like IPA. I'm thinking more of a like.
So this is our.
I know
this
you
is
like
our
all
fourth
three.
drink.
This is yes,
I
my
like them
third
all.
IPA.
I like them all for
But
sure.
that's why I'm asking Grant because he's the one who doesn't like
I like
IPAs.
it's a tough. 2 and 4 are really tight. Like I'd have to drink multiple of them side by side.
Makes sense.
You know? I'm going to give a very wide answer. It depends on the evening. It depends on what I'm pairing.
I'm always going to go to Vis Major because I'm starting to like them a lot. I work downtown, so on my way home, I take Martha to Center and then just straight down Center to come home, and it's like on my way. I'm I got to stop there. But with that said, the Electric by Lucky Bucket,
Electric Cloud.
I will have to say that by far has been one of the best Lucky Bucket drinks I've had by Lucky Bucket.
I will give
So,
you that, and I will
say that.
also say it's an
I'll say
IPA
that.
you can drink year round.
Very much it is. You can drink that anytime.
There are some IPAs that are
For
fantastic.
me, it's the London. That'd
Yeah.
be my
but
London.
you can't drink that in a hot summer day. I mean,
No,
that's
no.
a heavy IPA.
But if I'm going to be sitting at home on a Tuesday evening and watching a movie, I'm going to have a
kids.
London Elixir from Vis Major.
Yeah.
But
I thought you meant. Sorry, I thought you meant the London hops from Fairy Nectar from Cross Strain. I thought that's what you were talking about.
London Elixir. Okay. What we have on the show is what we're talking about.
Gotcha. All right.
But the Electric by Lucky Bucket, I will say, good job, Lucky Bucket. I like Lucky Bucket. Their beers are good. I wouldn't say they're great. They're good beers.
Actually, they're getting.
If I go
some
to a
great
place
ones.
and they have Bud Light, Coors Light, and Lucky Bucket, of course I'm choosing the Lucky Bucket.
But you really need to check out their brewery again, because the stuff that you can't get in bottles is the way to go. It's kind of like their special
the fresh stuff.
The Lucky Bucket was the one 2 ago.
It was.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
No, it's
Brit,
they're
you know
killing
what
it
you're
right now.
talking about.
Oh, I do know what I'm talking about. I'm agreeing with
Brit,
you.
I
Electric's
agree with you with
freaking for Lucky Bucket.
Vis
Nice
Major
job.
though. At the same time, like for a brewery, like so I'm from Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
And there's one of the best or one of the most popular breweries is called Dangerous Man Brewing.
Nice.
And
Dangerous
it's a
Man
big
Brewing.
guy. He has like the logo's a face, and he has like this big beard. And they had to like try to sue a company in Russia who was making clothing with their exact trademark logo as their logo. Crazy stuff, but real
Darn
cool.
Russians.
I know, right? But so they don't have any TVs in there. Like it's all about community, and that's what I like about Vis Major, and that's getting back to this whole thing. Like
I just love how you pronounce it.
Vis Major. I always say Vis.
I know, but
it's Vis, isn't it?
Yeah,
I know,
It's
but
technically Vis Major.
I actually like how you pronounce it, though.
Yeah,
like,
I've
I was
always-
being
As long as
honest.
it's not about a
it sound-
vasectomy, I'm all
Yeah,
right.
it's
Vis Major
Major,
is
but
like with an
Vis.
E,
Yeah.
V-E-S.
Tomato.
But we like how you pronounce it. But I like the
Potato,
feeling that you
That's
get.
what I'm saying.
The feeling that you get when you walk into Vis Major is like a church chapel.
Correct.
Like they've got like nice crown molding, and in fact, I think it was inspired from a church. They pulled a lot of stuff from a church. The only thing they're missing, the confessional.
Well, the thing is that it's very inviting, though. Like I'm honestly not very religious, but
No.
like I walk in there and I'm like,
I'm Lutheran. I'm the lazy Catholic.
I'm so. No, but I walk in and I feel so comfortable with there. Like they don't have any TVs on the wall. Like I almost think that they should have a box instead of maybe a confessional. Like they put a little
Put your
box
phone
there and
here.
they say put your phone here.
What
That's
the
exactly
heck
what
are
I'm
we
thinking.
talking
They don't even
No,
have
just the community
Where
aspect.
are we?
35th and Center.
Have you not been paying attention?
That's actually a brilliant idea.
Yeah, like you have
That
a
is
box when you walk in. You say, "Hey, put your guys' phone here, or leave them at the bar. We'll check you with a tag."
Yeah, we'll tag check it.
I'll do
Yeah.
I'll do you one better.
I think that'd be a bomb
Being
idea
as
for
though
them.
I
Yes.
work at a place that does like expos. One of the coolest expo things that I seen was a little locker, and you type in a combination to the locker, and then that's your combination.
That's so expensive.
And then you plug in your phone because it's got all the connections, and you lock your phone up.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense for that kind of places. Like if they don't have any TV,
but
they
what-
don't allow
but who
electronics.
doesn't
and suddenly
wanna-
it's like
Hold on,
electron.
who doesn't want to charge
I
their
know.
phone,
That's
and who
true.
doesn't want to know that it's safe
That's
because
true,
you
though.
put your own combination in?
No, I'm. Yep.
What if you?
You know, it'd be funny. I like
You win.
I like the coach.
This is your show, bro.
I like the coat check idea where you just leave it,
Like you just leave
and
it,
then you
like you
come back
trust each
to
other.
maybe a D pick, you know, like
You got to talk into the microphone.
a D pick, a D pick.
Yes, we all know what you mean there, Grant.
No, but,
Well, you know, my kid might see this.
no, but that's the cool thing about.
What about a
those.
pea pick?
Oh, what? If you don't know what pea pick is, you can't afford it.
Exactly. I don't think the
Where-
ladies would ever do that, though.
Where are we going with this conversation?
I don't
We're
know.
going back. So I want to give a shout out because this one is a God darn a microbrew.
We've definitely
a
gotten
craft beer.
off topic.
This
for
one is
sure.
a craft beer. One of our listeners out there is drinking
Sierra
a
Nevada, is that?
no
Cardinal.
Cardinal,
Oh yeah.
which we
From
talked about
Nebraska.
where
From
that where
NBC,
that
yeah, Nebraska
where
Brewing
that
Company.
where that came from. In fact,
All their beers are great.
my drink or my glass tonight is sponsored by Nebraska Brewing Company and Quality Brands of Omaha. So shout out to that listener that's out there.
Getting back to Vis Major, the one we're drinking on right now, they did a coffee beer. And I'm not a big fan of, I'm a big fan of coffee. Don't get me wrong. I'll drink my coffee in the morning. But I'm not a big fan of coffee and beer. But the one they did, I'm like,
Theirs
this
is
is
really good.
nice. This is
The
very
one,
good.
the one that I like is actually by Pint 9.
Oso Cafe.
The Oso Cafe. And actually, when I took the first time I went there back in December, they had it in the Bright Tank, and they actually pulled off a little bit on the Bright Tank for me. Holy cow, that was like right off the production line.
Lucky.
Isn't that cool?
So
Makes
delicious.
you feel like you're a king. You're like,
I
oh,
know.
I want this, and they're like, okay.
There you go.
Like, no, they're very nice people.
Yeah, they are. That was super cool. Is this still this is still
Same
the
one.
Same one.
Moscow
We'll just finish. The Crowlers we finished up.
Cool.
You brought a growler, and I'm like,
We're
we're
not
not going to finish that.
No, we're not.
Even as much as I want to, and I might just pour it into another bottle, and you can
Maybe in
take
the
the
after
home.
talk we can finish it up.
There you go. Now you're thinking.
Yep. Thinking with my noodle.
So
how,
After Talk is available to the public audience.
no, it is not.
I'm glad you're talking about that. So our before
I like
talk.
this.
Speaking of membership programs,
Hey, nice. Not every single program is recorded before and after, but the majority of them are a lot more after than before. But yeah, all of that is in a database that I have.
I
on a hard
wonder
drive.
why.
It,
There's more after than before. That's a sarcastic.
well, that's because I can stop the stream and then just restart it again. You know. Or not the stream, but the recording. The beforehand, it's like sometimes we start at 9:30. We get here at 9, but it's a rush to do everything.
Stop.
Yeah.
It's because of the beer.
Exactly.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, and there's also recorded programs that people don't know about, like After Beer Fest. We have a What's in My Pocket 1.0 and a What's in My Pocket 2.0 now. There's a Beer Me episode that never got put actually online from my neighbors that came over.
you told me about that one time. I was like, oh,
It's the only place it's on is actually on our Facebook page, and I had to restart it like 3 times. So I mean,
And it was actually the only Drink Talk episode I have not been on.
yeah. But you did.
Because I was in Boston.
But the thing was, you did a lot of commenting on
I
that
did.
video.
I did.
But you were commenting as Drink Talk. You weren't commenting as Brian Roeder.
I guess
Go back to Sean.
Whoops.
Talk about
that's funny.
Facebook's like idiosyncrasies. So I manage about 5 pages.
Yeah, I'm sure that's tough to keep handle.
You heard the dead silence there, like just attempting. And I'm not trying to manipulate it. I'm not trying to game it. But once in a while, like I have a next door neighbor. So I own a business. My next door neighbor is a baker. And so once in a while, we'll collaborate on things.
I'd be right by the window and be like, "What you
I'm up 25 pounds since that.
over there?"
I get
smell them. I smell them.
yeah.
Got any leftovers?
That's what I want. Yeah.
Speaking of which, this baker, and I'll
Yeah.
tag it up here. She's going to be she
Good.
and they
Nice stop.
are going to be featured on the Food Network.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Shoot.
Very nice.
So
Yummy.
Omaha just blowing it up. So,
Well, you're in a
Step
good
one up.
corridor there on
Yeah.
the 72nd Street.
I'm in a good spot. It's a great spot. But anyway, I don't
72nd
remember where I was going with that.
Just south of Dodge.
You're not supposed to tell
I don't know.
people where
I don't
care.
You gotta.
I've been commenting on the live feed, so
Yeah.
if you're hearing this on the podcast, 402 net. No.
you got a neighbor that's a baker.
Somebody that robbed.
Oh, back to the Facebook. Yeah, that's where we were at.
That's where we're at. See,
Yep.
me
So-
putting you right back in the game.
Thank
Full
you.
circle.
I appreciate that. So she has empowered me to watch her Facebook to help her listen, not post, but listen.
Oh, that's
And
yeah.
so,
Watch me.
so once in a while,
Make sure it
That's not
makes sense.
creepy.
so once in a while, I'm between these, and it's just absolutely insane trying to figure out who you're posting as, and like it's just a.
Well,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's my troubles I've been having with Facebook specifically because I download their Pages app
Yep.
and then I've downloaded this and sometimes
You
I
do need
comment
that.
in the phone and then I realize or in the regular Facebook app and then I realize it comments as me and then I'm like,
Well,
it's
here's
amateur,
the
it's
thing.
amateur
You
hour
really
for
have to
Facebook
do
with
it.
me, like.
You really have to do it on a computer because on the computer there's like multiple drop boxes in order to do it. If you try to do it on a phone, sometimes it doesn't have the capability in order to
But
change
You
it.
don't
But-
always, you don't always have your
phone.
I want to spend a minute and a half here, but I have come. This
Time
is
it.
probably my.
He's come to a realization.
Time it.
10:39 you got until 10:40 and a half.
Yeah, there you go. So I've been here roughly 6 to 8 times. Most times I brought a computer. I don't have to anymore. This thing is so powerful now.
What-
I just
what-
attended.
what phone
somebody
do you have?
busted me up about
what do you got?
attending the hashtag YP Summit in Omaha.
Hey, I didn't give you a hard time because I built that set.
Hard times. Oh, it was
Oh.
awesome.
Straight giveaway that where I work. Yeah. Kind of.
Dude, you can throw me for loops. I get into. I'm lost. Let's go back. Let's drink more.
All right, perfect. That solves all the problems.
Well, now we're going to get into the sour, boys.
Ooh, that's one.
Excellent. So the sour is actually called Papio Creek, but it's not spelled the way you would think it. It's spelled Kriek, by Farnham House Brewing Company.
Oh,
And
good.
I took a time out because I remembered it.
Yeah, all right. That's all right. Sometimes you go right back,
You had to go away to come back.
You got to do that.
So we were talking about Facebook and the frustration. So right now, all I have is this. So I'm not, it's very, very powerful. So I'm not bringing a stinking laptop.
What kind of phone do you have?
I told you earlier. I want to
an
talk
Apple
about
product
Apple, but anyway.
phone.
All right.
We won't
Once
say
you
which
time
one.
in,
Bam, 30 seconds go.
there,
Well, I've
like
got
20 more seconds.
I'm a Samsung user, and they've got the Samsung. What is it? 9 now coming out, or something like that.
82.
Under
Samsung
promise,
X.
over deliver.
yeah, I like it.
And I'm sure that I could do a lot more with the new Samsung that's coming out than I can with the Samsung that's here.
This is quite ambery red.
So I'm not gonna lie.
Very
I
clear.
never used to like sour beers
I'm
until
getting
I
into
started
'em.
going to Farnham House. So I never liked them, and they have 3
So
or 4 different versions of
I'm,
sours.
I'm in the same boat with you.
and then you start drinking them, and you start trying other ones, and
water.
I'm the red one.
Yeah. No, you're not. You haven't drank it, so you're now the orange one. You can you can fill that up again.
Fair enough. I can deal with it.
no,
Sorry, we were
So I'm
watching.
watching the-
Yeah, get the delay. Anyway, we're going to clinky before
Yeah.
we drinky.
cheers, gentlemen.
Yes. Ooh.
It's kind of an apple juicy
Ooh,
flavor
yeah.
to it.
Definitely
They
apple
use,
juicy.
Yeah,
cherries. That's the vinegar. That's the
I chased the
tartness
yeah.
they use.
Yeah,
Some
if you
red cherry in there.
if you mix the cherry juice and an apple juice,
Yeah.
this is kind of what you would get. But it's a beer.
It's such an easy.
And
drinking
speaking of beer, it is a 5.3% ABV, 17 IBU, so low on the IBU counts. Sour ale by Farnham House Brewing Company down next to Beertopia. It's Beertopia Corner. So you got
I
Crescent
love
Moon,
Beertopia.
Yeah.
Crescent Moon, Farnham
I
House.
love what they did with Beertopia. They
That
broke.
open door
They
is
opened up the door
sweet.
to.
That's so cool.
Yeah, they opened up their door
Crescent Moon
to
or-
Crescent Moon.
Oh, really?
So now, if you go into Beertopia, you can go into Crescent Moon.
Nice.
It's all free flowing,
So
which is great.
The one thing I haven't been there since they opened it, but can you buy something at Beertopia and
Nice,
then
great.
and open it in?
No,
Okay, because
You have
I
to
wondered
buy-
if it was like a Crescent.
Well,
like it was like
here,
casual pint. where you
I'm
can-
answering for them.
Yeah.
No, I don't know that you can do that. I don't. But
I just wasn't sure if it was
you're-
was a casual pint that
it's
does
it's
that. or-
packaged liquor, and you've purchased it at the establishment. You are more than welcome to bring it in, but it'd be like bringing in outside booze, so there'd be a corking fee. You know what I mean? So I don't think that they'd allow it.
How does casual pint do it then? You probably
Can you do that at Casual
Well,
Pint?
so at
can you
Casual
buy
Pint,
the? Well,
the ones
you're-
on the wall they let you open.
Buy and open.
Oh, well, like you can choose one of these and they'll serve that.
I
Absolutely.
love Casual Pint.
and
By
that's
the way,
why I
thank
was
you for
very
bringing
much-
up Casual Pint.
No, I like them a lot, and that's what I thought that they were
can
trying
we-
to. Yeah.
Can we take a sorry? I just noticed a lot of people on the feed, and I think that they weren't here at the beginning of the program when we talked about the giveaway today. And I do want Sean to mention again
Why we're here
there is a giveaway
and what we're doing.
that we're doing for
We get a little
the
off
membership.
topic, but
Yeah, that's all right. So
Yeah,
let's
we're,
talk about the membership and then the
Then
giveaway.
we can go
and-
back to
and then we'll get
Casual
back to
Pint.
Then we'll talk about Casual Pint.
And honestly, we'll probably do without the hashtag. I'll look at the list and we'll do a drawing for a 1-year subscription to our Pint Club. Yeah, just for everyone
I
who's
can't
been
win it.
interacting with us.
But if you
Yeah,
want to
these
win,
two-
buy hashtag because you might get an advantage. Drink hashtag JT and
JT,
drink up
NE.
drink up NE.
Capital
You can
N,
win.
capital
You know,
E.
you do have to keep this open until it's been out there for a little bit because there's
Correct.
going to be some legacy people that or some lingering folks that watch it not live.
I like Legacy. people.
And
I was planning on
and
keeping it on
also-
until like Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, where should they tweet that? Do you have a Twitter?
or is
you
it just
do-
going to be on the feed here?
Well,
that you're talking-
I was doing it just for the feed, actually, like for people to encourage
That
people
we're
to
doing
watch
li-
Drink Talk.
Thank you.
And things
So-
like that. So it's
so
only on Drink Talk.
You
That's
are
that's
a good man.
Well,
So-
that's great, but hang on, because this is one of those distributions.
is this a no
thing.
because
precipitation
actually
message?
this
Or-
feed actually goes on iTunes.
Podcast.
It goes on Google Play Music.
That's why
it also
I'm
goes
saying-
on YouTube. I mean, it does
Well,
go on 4 different other platforms besides this.
It's going to be from
and
the.
hopefully soon Spotify.
There's got to be a cutoff though.
All right.
So
No, I
we're-
think by
We're doing
3
what-
days from
yeah.
today or whatever,
Yep.
whatever.
Yeah, we're going to do it by today's Sunday, by Wednesday.
There you go.
So
Somebody's going to win.
Brian and Britt, the
Maybe multiple.
the founders and owners of Drink Talk.
Thank you.
What are you seeing from a listening audience? We've talked about the the Pint community
feed.
and the new product and whatnot. But I'm curious, what are you seeing people actually listen to us?
Yeah, we got noticed out
Solve
at
the
Extreme.
world's problems.
Yeah, we got noticed out at Extreme Beer Fest. We did wear our Drink Talk T-shirts out there at Extreme Beer Fest.
But yeah, I'm a guru of hanging out cards. You know, I'm just like.
Oh yeah, we went into Extreme.
Make it rain.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we have new cards out. Yeah,
Yeah,
go
you
ahead.
can hold that right up there.
That's our new card.
Yeah, the thing I like about the card is
I like the new
at the
card so
very
much better.
at the very top. It's nice, big and bold. The ones you made prior to this one, it was the small card,
Yeah.
the logo, and it was just kind of. But this one, I like it. It's big, bold. But yeah, I mean, we're just trying to get the word out there. I mean, our ultimate goal with this show is to
Fun.
fun. And then every single person that we have on the show.
Actually, it's solving the world's problems one drink at a time.
So B, yes. So you are correct.
We
You
haven't
are.
solved the world's problems for like 8 episodes, bro. Come on now.
Well, we are solving the problem of how do we create a
No,
community.
I'm kidding.
not the last episode, which was Fernson, but the episode prior to that, we were solving some problems. We were.
Yeah,
So I mean, you know, 3 episodes ago, we were solving some problems.
Did we?
But we'd like to go to breweries. We'd like to get the word out about these breweries. We'd like to have liquor companies come to us, and we just want to let people know about these things that they have and drink for free, because it does cost us a small fortune in order to keep this
Sure does.
thing going. Luckily, Brian and I are in an engagement where you buy the beer, I buy the beer. You know, we go back and forth and all that sort of stuff.
I believe we have a question
we
from
bring
the.
it. We bring it.
Well,
Oh,
it's-
you bring it,
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
It's a comment more than a question.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to pay for storage space. We've got to pay for, all the other sort of stuff online and all that stuff. So, I mean, it's not a cheap show to have, but I mean, we love doing it, and we're in our second season, so
Favorite-
keep it going.
Favorite beer of the night.
Yeah.
The sour.
There it is. It is. It's really good. I like I said, it does taste like a cherry apple juice.
It's such an easy beer to drink. You can drink, like,
Yeah.
I could just
If
keep
you
on kicking them back.
if you want to try getting into the sour category, which is a tough category to get into,
I actually agree with that.
This
This
is
is
a
a
beer
sour
to
favorite.
drink.
this would be one.
Go out and buy some Sour Patch Kids.
I eat those every single day.
Right? I mean, it's totally different flavor. But I do like Sour Patch Kids because you get the sour, but then you get the sweet.
Yeah.
But you're not getting the sweet with this. You're just getting the straight sour. But like you were saying, you're not a big sour fan. I'm not a big sour fan either.
I
This one's
actually
good.
am starting to get there. Now.
I'm
like,
starting to get there.
but
There's
it
breweries
started
out there
with beers
that
like this that
yeah.
I'm like, okay,
there's some sours
this
that
is
I
a good
have still.
introduction.
There's sours that I have still that I'm like, ugh. But there are a few out there. I'd say probably about 5 that I've gone. Oh, yeah, that was good. I could deal with that sour.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would drink this one a lot. This is a good sour. I like
So
it.
Tony and the guys at
Yeah, I'd like to.
Farnham House,
I'd like
they're
to speak
awesome.
about Farnham House.
Like, I'm sure they would love to have you guys on sometime. I mean, they're very
And-
good people.
and-
They're
and that's
all
down
about
on-
the community.
Just where it is, it's like
off of Farnham.
yeah, I know where it is, but I
Oh,
mean,
Beertopia.
sorry.
yeah, for people that are not in the know,
35th.
Something, 35th, yeah.
30. Oh, just like 35th and Center, it's 35th and
Farnham.
Yeah. And Farnham is just one block south of Dodge.
Yes.
So super easy to find.
barely a block south of Dodge.
What is Mutual of Omaha? Right behind Mutual of
Yeah.
Omaha.
Yep.
It's right there. But I've got a neat little story about Farnham House. When they first opened up, my good friend Andrew and I,
Friend.
a good friend
Yes.
of
He's had a
mine.
couple beers.
I don't say my hours.
We went to Farnham House and we were checking it out, and it was my first time there, and I didn't know what it was all about, and I was just like, I'm getting craft brews and I like it.
You do you, bro.
And we're sitting up at the bar, and Farnham House actually has a neat little story. I was
the
sitting,
furlough.
I was sitting
getting there.
Yep, I was sitting at their bar, and I see this picture of a whole bunch of furs,
Oh, yeah.
and it looked like they were like in a giant safe. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what is this picture all about? And he goes, oh, this is an old furlough. This used to be a fur department. You could come and buy fur coats and all that stuff. And he goes, in the basement, we used to lock them up at the end of the night. Not all of the coats, but the ones that were, the minks and all that stuff. We used to lock them up downstairs. And he's like, well, that's now our brewery. And I'm like, that's cool. And he goes, do you want to see the brewery? And I'm like,
I do.
I do. So Andrew and I ended up going down, and it was a personal tour, just the two of us going down. And the first thing you see when you go down there is they've got like 5 refrigerators sitting right in front of you, and they all have taps on them. And I'm like, what's going on here? You got a whole bunch of taps down here. He goes, oh, these are all experimental beers. Do you guys want to try some?
No.
Yes. Absolutely.
No.
Is that really a question you just asked?
No.
Anyway, way cool place. It's an old furlough, and now it's a brewery, and way cool people that work there. So
No, it's
nothing bad to say
their
about them.
food
They're
is
great.
crazy good.
Their food's great.
The charcuterie board.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Got
people
a good chef there.
charcuterie. The charcuterie is top notch.
Ooh.
I go
For
there all
The
the time.
charcuterie.
Charcuterie.
I get that every single time. Like,
Yeah.
and when they don't have it, I get upset. It's kind of embarrassing.
That
but,
for
it's
in
so
layman's
good.
terms, that's a meat and cheese tray.
Charcuterie.
It's so
a
good.
charcuterie tray.
I mean, like it'd be taken in two totally different.
Yeah.
So we're on our 5th of 5 drinks.
Yes.
Fourth of fifth.
Fifth.
We have one more.
Fourth.
1, 2,
Yeah,
3,
Fifth
4,
of
5th.
six. We have one more though. We
do have
got the
one
big-
more.
Oh,
big
you
guy.
are correct. Yeah.
We are on the 5th of the 6th.
Oh, fifth of six.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
where I
That's
got.
where I was
That's
like,
where I got thrown off. I'm like,
Well, so there
Yeah.
were 5 breweries, but Britt
I
bought
forgot. He
2
bought
from
2, yep.
Bismager.
So
there's 6.
drink talk, gentlemen. Do we cap this at 90 minutes? Do we need to slam this down? Or
No.
We,
There's
we,
we
carry
go
over?
to when
They do what they want.
Yeah.
we go to when we hit stop.
Yep. We decided that if it goes long or
before
short, whatever.
Facebook actually capped us at 90 minutes.
There you go. That's what
That
it
was we talked about that up in Minnesota. They kind of capped us at 90 minutes, and but now Facebook's like, we'll just let it run.
So
Right.
before we get into this last beer, there's a couple more things that just
Oh,
so
go-
I'd
no,
like to
please-
throw out
please do.
because
Yeah.
and this is the whole beer community thing. Like, we're looking to build this community. We're also trying to help educate in a fun way. So some of the things that we're looking to do, anybody who's into either learning about beer, I'm actually going to be working with another beer blogger. His name's Michael, but he does Joe Java Stout. If any of you guys see him on Facebook or Twitter, we're going to be doing a kind of a beer server certification, the first level of the Cicerone training. We're kind of doing like a beer book club.
Nice.
So we're going to
That's kinda
start
cool.
meeting hopefully halfway through the month here, where we're going to start with a certain book. We're going to say, hey, this is the beer book we're going to read. We're going to read 5 chapters.
You're starting
4
a book
chapters.
club? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's a,
A
beer,
beer
book
book
club,
club.
bro.
Beer book club.
So we're
So
going to
this
read.
is a cool book
I'm actually
club.
Yeah. So like we're literally going to study to become the first level of Cicerone training is the beer certified trainer or beer certified pourer, or whatever they call
Taster.
it. Like, yeah, I know, right? It's basically for people who serve beer certified server. And
Gotcha.
so the first level, like they have all these different readings that they recommend you do before you do that. So we're going to start reading some of those books and kind of studying for that first level Cicerone
Getting your
training,
education on.
getting your education on. And with that, it's kind of it's a good 101 for anyone who just wants to learn about beer. It's the first level is a very good beer 101, and so we'll
you
be
should
doing that.
know what you're serving. Like, I mean, what it is I went down to Tap House, which is right off the 14th Street exit, right as you get off the interstate downtown.
Mm-hmm.
So 14th Street, bam, it's Union Pacific, or Union Pacific, and then it's Tap House, or the library, and then Tap House.
I went to the library, Mom.
I went to the library, Mom, I swear. Anyway, I was there, and who was there with the big giant? Oh, right there, Odell Brewing Company was there, and that's hence the day I won that sign was they were doing a big thing, the Rapture, I believe is what they did.
Yeah.
Anyway, anytime you ordered Rapture, you got a ticket, and I knew the guy who was putting on the class that was teaching the people about the beer. It was 3:00 in the afternoon, and they didn't have much of a crowd working there. You know, it was like me, the bartender, one other guy at the bar, and maybe one table over in the corner. Nothing too much going on. Anyway, he was there, and I know him, and I got his tickets, and I got his girls' tickets that were there, and I ended up winning the sign. I was
That's
like,
cheating, dude.
Awesome. You know?
That's cheating, bro.
Well, I had 3 beers, and then my 3 beers were 9 tickets. You know, it is what it is. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I just thought it was neat that they came in and actually let the servers sample the beer in order to sell their own beer. You know, it's all about educating
It sure
the
is.
people. If somebody's like, I like something hoppy but not too hoppy, but what's new and what's fresh, if you've actually sampled what it is, and then you have the education on how they brew it and the way they deal with the hops and the IBUs and the alcohol percentage and all that stuff, you're a better person as a server.
And you're able to describe it. You're able to
Absolutely.
sell it to your customer.
Yeah,
that's what I
absolutely.
hate about. Not sorry, I shouldn't say hate, but
Yes, you can
Dislike.
say
I
that.
know, you dislike.
We don't have
I
too many
very dislike.
3-year-olds.
No,
listening.
it's not that, but it's like, you know, we have different beer fests, and that's the biggest pet peeve about beer fests, where you have a beer that comes in from out of state. And are they going to send somebody to sell your beer? No. So what they do is they find,
should.
but they should, but instead they find somebody on either a temp. I don't know how they find them, but they find somebody who doesn't ever know about their beer.
Well, and here
You
in-
ask them, and
I actually know how
you know
to
what I'm
find
saying.
them. I'll tell you
No,
about
but you
that.
know what I'm talking about. But they're like, and it's, I mean, typically, no sexism is typically women and an attractive gal of some sort, and they're like, oh yeah. Which one do you want, the red one or the white one? Well, what's the flavor profile?
I don't know.
It's red or white, or it's kind of like the wine thing. Like I have a red wine and I have a white wine. Like it's the same idea. Like
Yeah, it's
It's
not.
so
It's not a sex.
disappointing.
It could be a hot dude. They're selling.
Yeah,
they're
very-
selling something other than the product.
Correct.
Which is unfortunate for the product.
Well,
and
they
it's
should-
unfortunate for those who are actually there to enjoy the beer,
Agreed.
and like it's just.
Well, and
I
they
don't know.
they should know here in Nebraska we are actually
Hashtag drink local.
yes
Drink
we
local.
are actually in Nebraska we are really big on education. I mean you know the N on the side of the Nebraska helmets is not for
Such
Nebraska.
good beer.
It's for knowledge, right?
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, I messed that joke up. I
You got it.
delivered the punchline wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
All right.
Burp, burp, burp.
So moving to our last beer, we got Brickway Brewing. We
Yes,
got their
Bella Diva.
Bella Diva Brickway.
Oh, do I need
Bella
to-
Diva
Do I need to whip it
chocolate
out?
stout. Yeah, well, we're out of here.
Yeah, welcome back to the program.
All right, bathroom break. Had to run to the party.
Ooh.
Britt.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
What do you
So-
just keep that right in your pocket?
I mean, yeah, don't you?
Somebody gave me this fancy bottle
Really
opener. I
Bottle
like to
opener.
use
a
it.
lot of people
Watch-
probably know about Brickway with
Watch-
their epic blackout.
Watch Britt laugh.
Okay, all right. I'm watching and waiting, anticipating.
Delayed.
Britt and I
5,
had a
4,
little
3, 2, 1.
joke. Britt and I were both in the bathroom.
Inside joke.
So a lot of people
Oh.
would know Brickway from their
going-
epic blackout
going
stout,
nice
which is
dark.
This is-
fantastic beer. It's
A completely different beer than what we've been drinking before. We went from an English bitter
And
to
for something completely different.
yeah. Now
Very much so.
sours, I guess, would be different, but this is very.
Hang tight a second.
This is the Imperial.
I'm gonna sell the membership to the post show whatever.
After Talk.
We're gonna be laughing hard during after talk. I have a picture of my 3 and 7-year-old.
All right. Enough
hey.
said. Enough said.
Okay, all right.
We aren't going to show it on air, so.
so I
we'll
guess
just-
we're going to
We
talk
are
about
not gonna show it on air.
this.
We're not gonna show it anywhere. It's not leaving my phone, but you'll laugh.
All right.
All right, fair enough.
Well, here we go. So
Well,
this
he's
this is the Bella Diva by Brickway Brewery and Distillery. This is the Imperial Chocolate Stout.
it's a little bit of a heftier guy.
Wow. So, again,
Now-
the beer novice.
Oh, I
what-
definitely taste
Is
the
this the right
chocolate.
beer to drink at the end of the night?
No, we should have. I mean,
All right.
this is the heavy hitter, which we should have.
You don't even need a whole light up to it. It's
The problem is, I didn't want to start with it because I didn't want to wreck the palate because it's such a high alcohol content. Mm-hmm. But you also don't want to end with it. So
for those that
whatever.
don't know, we kind of had a quick discussion prior to the show starting with like 3 minutes prior to it starting, and we came up with this quick little list that I had here, and we went from
I don't need. I don't. Think,
don't
Grant,
need the
I don't
light,
think you
Grant.
need the flashlight
you
on that
know
one.
it's
There's-
so dark. It's
You can't see anything through that.
we started with low alcohol content and worked our way high.
yeah, which is not the way you're supposed to do it. But
Say hello. We
yeah, so this is the Imperial.
didn't want to
Chocolate
wreck our palate with imperial
We're adults. We do what we
IPAs
want.
first, you know.
So an Imperial Stout, all that really means is strong stout, and this is
And
a
it is.
10.5% ABV.
I like the name Bella Vita.
Bella Vita, Bella Diva,
Bella Diva.
and this is 55 IBU, so which is pretty high for a stout. So it's
It
probably
is
got some
actually,
hoppy characteristics. The chocolate, I mean, you can smell it a little bit.
I don't get
And
a lot of
this is from Brickway, which is downtown on Leavenworth Street.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, about
11
15.
no, Jackson and...
Jackson. That's
13th
Jay's on
Jackson.
Jackson. Yeah, my
Yeah,
fault.
right
Not
across the street.
Leavenworth.
Where all the bricks are.
Oh yeah,
The Brickway. So
No,
that's
I
how
get it.
Brickway got...
You were saying that Brickway is the only one that has a still or
Distiller.
distillery.
It has the tallest still.
Tallest still. That's what. it
Yeah.
was.
So Lucky Bucket also has a still, but
Let me take this knife away from you.
which is
Probably a good idea.
if you think about breweries and
Just give me
distilleries,
a hard time, Grant.
there's only 2 here in the local area that are breweries.
Come out.
Yes. Shit. Here's the knife. So there are only 2 brewery distilleries here in town locally, and one is Lucky Bucket, the other one is Brickway. The interesting thing is the owner of Brickway used to own Lucky Bucket, and then when he sold Lucky Bucket, he went to Scotland, got his master's in brewing and distilling,
which is awesome.
and then
Because I got
started
time for
Brickway.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Badass.
Well, when you sell a brewery, I mean, you probably made a little bit of money.
Have I
I'm
shared on this that my friend is a brewer or a distiller here in town?
You did not share that.
Yeah.
And
Why
did
haven't
you
they
share
been on the
that?
show yet?
Patriarch 6.
Yeah,
They're-
Patriarch
Oh,
6
yeah.
is pretty...
They have some connections to my day job.
They're pretty BA.
Yes, they are, and
They-
I love
Patriarch
the.
6, good stuff.
Yep. They
guys
were.
need to bottle
I've
up
never
your-
had it.
You guys
So
need
a
to
little,
bottle up your real bad Patriarch 6, they need a bottle.
known fact about them. They bought the patent to the canteen, like the canteen. Hits the end of it. They bought it. It's their bottle.
Oh
they,
yeah,
They
well,
own
it's
the
highly recognizable.
It's for those of you in the military community.
It's a World War
where
I
it's at.
canteen.
So
The bottle.
I want to tell everyone who's
Glad you
drinking it
said
before
that.
you guys
Yeah.
drink your whole glass. Like, let it warm up. Like, actually,
yeah.
because with darker beers, typically you get more flavor profiles and more characteristics as it heats up.
We
So
should
when-
have halfway
right
through the
off-
show.
I
You
know,
should have
I-
been like, take that out.
I should have,
Really?
but I wasn't paying attention.
So I'm going to
It
go
happens.
further than. So should it be room temperature, below room?
No,
no,
it should
it's
be.
just. I
Let's
mean,
say your fridge is 34 degrees. You
Right.
wanted it
Like
like
30.
55, maybe. Just
Well,
a-
75. That'd be halfway.
Yeah, I mean,
Warmer
so-
than cold.
exactly
correct. Like it shouldn't be ice temperature. Like when you serve it. I mean,
like
they serve
wine. It should be
typically-
like wine, just a
You-
little bit cold,
Right.
but not.
You don't want to drink it like it's a hot tub, like
No.
130. Like that would be gross. No,
that would
wait
be,
a minute.
That
No.
would be soup.
Well, soup or there are drinks. There are some. I think I had glug or bloob or something.
Oh, yeah.
There's some mead things and other
That's
things.
the last
that are,
call. This is the last one.
I like it. I
Last
like
call.
it.
I didn't even have the
alcohol.
bars open sign
No,
on.
the coolest thing is, like, honestly, if you hold that in your hand for like probably half a minute, even 30 seconds, and then you try it again, you'll just how much chocolate you taste.
Oh yeah.
More
Oh.
than right coming from it being in the fridge, like you don't taste that chocolate, just kind of.
I shared some back with my gentleman at my right because I know it's the highest ABV, but it's tasty. It's
was never a big fan of the hoppiness. I was never a big fan of farmhouses. I was always like a Bud Select drinker, but then Brian got me on the IPAs, and then when I thought darks.
Thank you,
Working on
Brian.
it, working
Thank
on
you,
it.
Brian.
Well, it's the palate, like when I first started drinking wine, it was like, oh well, let's do a red table wine. That's all I can
Very
drink.
much.
But now I'm going to do a Merlot, and now I'm going to do
Yeah.
all the stuff. Pinot Noir. Anyway, now the darks. I always thought of a dark. I just in my mind, it's a Guinness, and and a Guinness is like a steak, and you could overcook the steak.
I
but
think
you
a
could also
lot of
cook
people
it right.
associate stouts with Guinness.
Exactly.
It's
A lot
'cause-
of people do.
Yeah.
Because you look at it and you're like, is that the Guinness? And you're like, no, this is not Guinness. This is Brickway Bella Diva.
You were
Bella
close. You were
Diva.
almost there. You were
Bella
close.
Diva. Anyway, I'm coming around. I'm starting to like the darker stuff now. Like I said, at this major, I had that coffee, and I was like, nah, I'm not. The sampler.
Well,
Oh, why don't you give me a glass of that? That's
Yeah.
good.
It's funny that's how it always starts. So
Yeah.
like on my business card, for Into the Pint class, like I literally, because I want to make it kind of something kind of corny fun, but so it says like my name, my founder position, my email, and then it says stout drinker. Like, so the idea is that if I invited anybody else to be a part of the company, like whatever their position it was, whatever their favorite type of beer would be, like that that type of thing.
Nice.
So
Good
kind
call.
of like just, but like
I have
first
I have
hated
3 different
stouts,
business
and now-
cards though.
eh.
Yeah, right.
You do know the saying though, Britt.
I have 5.
Once you
Oh, hey, you win.
once you Britt,
The card game.
Once you go dark, you never go.
once you go black, you never
Black,
get credit
you never
again.
Once you go dark brown. Once you go dark
brown. Fair enough. You never get credit.
Sorry, that was
horribly funny.
Terrible.
It was horribly
Terrible.
funny. Oh my gosh, that was funny. And a bunch of Omaha North brats here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy buckets. I got to take this. You
At
just
symbol,
drop that.
dollar sign,
Omaha
signs,
Northwest
holes.
principal.
Not Northwest, Omaha North. Brian and I went down to the ghetto.
All right, I heard that. Omaha
You never been in the
Northwest principal I met tonight. He's a special dude. Like,
He's real special.
no, he's like.
I mean, how far do you want to go on this? This
No,
is a
no,
live
no.
recorded show.
No, I'm gonna drop it up at this, but like, like if this was a stock, I'm buying.
Really?
I'm buying big time. He's 4 years in. I'd say he's got about you look at somebody, you're like, I know your age, I know the pension plan. Like, he's got about 10 to go. Buy.
Not like
He
brother.
gone.
Not like brother Haynes. Hit the bricks.
That's right. I love the fact that like he would if you had saggy pants, like he either made you get a belt or he would hand you a rope. Yeah.
Get a rope. Get a rope. That brings new meaning to that.
Yeah. Get a rope. Yeah, pull up your pants. Come on. Where'd you think I was going with that?
Hey,
I was not saying a thing.
All right. Are we winding down on this?
think we are.
And then
Yeah.
getting into the after talk here?
Yeah.
You think
Yes.
Yes. I think the answer is
We-
yes.
my words started to roll
we have
together?
hit the 95th minute.
Yeah. So I think
Yes.
we're going to round this off. We're going to recap. Oh, we got one.
Give him one more.
Oh, yeah, that was the recap.
Yeah, one
that
more
was-
shout out. Yeah,
that was the recap. So we've been joined here by Sean from Into the Pint Glass. We've been talking about the Pint Club, the membership program. So any of you that are viewing still can mention something in the comments here, and you will be entered to win a free membership for a year for the Pint Club.
Sean, is there anything you want to add to that?
No, I keep on checking these guys out. They're doing a fantastic job.
And you as well.
Well, I mean, please, but this is your show, man. You guys, I appreciate you guys bringing me on, and check
I
us
like
out on our
you using
website
this
and-
platform to better your business and our business.
Yeah, let me echo off that because I'm. Any of the three of you know the Grow Omaha show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Grow Omaha has the Chamber of Commerce.
We
president,
happen to know somebody.
David Brown is we do.
We
But-
all do.
But the Greater Omaha Chamber's president, David Brown, comes on once a quarter, and I actually think you should be here more than that. But you should just have a standing. I'm going to be on at this time.
It kind of does. This is your
Yeah, no, I know that.
my
I know
third
that.
or
But
third or fourth.
yeah,
I think
and
fourth now.
they're not always
Yeah.
going to be about the
No.
the Pint Club because that. But
You're just
but-
on the show to be
yeah,
on the
it's-
show.
Yeah, it's exactly.
I enjoy it.
Kind of like this.
It's fun.
This hack down here, but
Once
it's,
you've been on the show once,
Oh,
it's so easy. You're
it's the
like
best experience
we
you've
have
ever had.
we have
It
so
is.
many
So much fun.
Well, here's what it is. We
Really
get so many
rough.
people coming on the show, and they're like a little skittish. They're like, but then at the end of the show, they're like, when can we come back again?
Yeah.
Like
Do you guys remember my first one? I came in here, I thought I was gonna get like murdered, and I'm like, like if I don't call back, like this is where I am. Like I have no idea.
Yeah.
No, it's so much fun though.
Chill
You
show.
guys are good people.
Yeah, very, very chill. And also, you've come
because
into the
we're
program.
family.
Yes,
Oh, very much so.
yeah. And you've come into the program just
Literally,
to be on the
we're
program
family.
because you did the mixed drink episode
The
with
mixed
us.
drink, and then we did another craft beer one, but that was with Mitchell from
Yeah.
Nebraska Brewing. Like,
Yeah.
I just
That was
happened to run
awesome.
into
That was
him,
a
and
good
he's
show.
like, "Hey, man, like you should come on too." Again, I'm like, "Yeah, let's hang out." Like,
Yeah.
it's all about him.
And,
but, like, it was
our
fun.
first
Yeah, that was the
viewing
first
audience.
viewing
yeah, we have a
audience,
viewing
yeah.
audience.
Yeah.
We're gonna have live.
Now
we're
that-
gonna
Every
get
once in a while, you came in with a question, and I digged it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
nice.
We're gonna,
It was
like
nice.
2 times. I hung out for like half the show.
You know,
I sat there and like read stuff. My phone died. I'm like,
I'd actually like
Keep
to
going.
see somebody on the show just playing pool in the background. Every once in a while, you hear a break, and then some balls hit every once in a
Not a
while.
bad idea.
I know, like just some random people just hanging out. They ask for a beer every once in a while, like, "Hey, we're out."
Hey,
again-
if anyone wants to do that,
Yeah.
make a note in the comments. And
Yeah.
these guys will
Yeah.
check
They
you
can-
guys out.
Yeah.
And again,
You
not
know,
to be
you just want to
se-
hang out for the show.
not to be sexist about this. So you could be an attractive male or female, but if you just want to come hang out,
Yeah.
You know,
We'd love a viewing audience.
BYOB.
I don't have
You got to
BYOB.
bring your own beer.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is an extension of my last.
That would be a caveat.
I
You have to
actually
bring-
think
caveat.
So
Nice words.
as we grow up as Drink Talk, and I'm a friend of Drink Talk, and yeah, more than that.
and Drink Talk
but
is
I'm
a friend of you.
I appreciate that. I actually think there is a market to pre-announce what you're going to be drinking and sell it.
There should be.
We tried doing that.
It's a winner for everybody. It's a winner for the beer company that we're doing. It's a winner for our show. It's great advertising for all around.
Yes, we saw.
Absolutely.
Look who joined us.
I saw.
Oh,
Hi,
that time,
sis.
that time of night.
Yeah.
That time of night, I invited her.
Hello, sis.
Yep. So, is there anything else
I
that you
feel
want?
bad for her.
Well, she's just catching the end of it.
No, I mean just like both of you are brothers.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just kidding. Yeah,
Ain't
it's,
nothing wrong with it. We
Hey,
saw,
Wait,
we,
was that,
we
was
saw
that a dig? Was
I'm
that
just
a dig?
messing with you.
We're shouting out to Sis, Erica.
We-
You need to subscribe to the what's the-
after talk.
after talk. We saw her today, though.
We did.
Oh, that's
And
nice
an
of you.
unfortunate circumstance that it was at a visitation.
Yeah. For someone who has passed on to the
That's
great
never
beyond.
fun.
Yep.
Good on you.
Yep. Was there anything else that you wanted to add on into the
Yeah.
pint glass for
No,
the
no,
pint
no.
club?
Join.
Join.
Yeah,
I mean,
join.
it's a win-win.
Hey, it's we're gonna get more breweries as more people come on. Like, it's one of those.
One thing I do want to talk
situations, yeah.
about though is if you do the monthly membership and
Yep.
you forget to renew,
Yep.
your points go away. The
Okay.
points expire.
Yep.
So you might as well just buy the yearly one.
Very, very much so. So
You
for
might as well.
$2.99, when you sign up for the monthly subscription, it is.
I mean, if you're good on
does-
auto renewal pay, as long as you're good on
no,
auto
no.
renewal.
So
pay.
we have a question
Yeah.
also here
Yeah.
from the audience. So Chris was asking, is it 1 pint a month? No,
No,
I know,
no.
Chris, you joined us a little later. So let's explain on that. There is 10. You get 10 pints, and
you get as many pints as you want.
Right,
I mean-
but there's it's on
drink
versions
like
of
you
10.
drink.
Yeah.
Do what you do.
So, Chris, what happens is that you get $1 off for each pint that you purchase at any of our participating locations.
Up to 3.
Up to 3 per day, per location per day, and up to basically 5 per day between multiple
Yeah.
locations.
We don't want you getting drunk at locations.
We want you to be safe, is what
Exactly.
what it's about. We don't want you to
Drink local,
hurt
drink
yourself,
safe.
drink safe. So once you reach 10 10 stamps or 10 beers, you'll get a special offer for either something extra, either like a half price growler fill, a free appetizer,
guy.
a buy one get one for a penny.
They're gonna
different
change.
things. They're going to change,
Yeah.
and it's going to be. In the long run, it's going to be each brewery's going to do their own kind of thing to encourage you to
and
come
you're
to them.
you're going to
And
be
something
on the
specialty
fore end
for them.
of which brewery has the best stuff because
Correct.
you'll
Well-
see more credits going to that brewery. Correct. Because they're like, buy one crowler, get one for a penny,
And
you're
you're
like,
also going to,
oh well, that's
as
the deal.
this grows, you're going to have special events.
We are.
I know how this is.
There's
go,
and that's where I don't want to throw all that stuff
No,
out yet
'cause
because
it's
it's
gotta
too
grow. It's
early.
gotta-
but
yeah, it's too
we're
early.
looking to do pint nights. I mean, Scriptown's already wanting to bring us on for
Bingo.
a pint night like next week and have a little pint night where we'll have some interesting things going on. So we'll talk
can they
about
see
later.
this?
Yeah, they can see that.
Yeah.
He just flipped the.
Chris, I hope that
The bar's
answers your
closed.
question. But if it doesn't, Chris, go
At
ahead
least for
and
this
shoot
talk.
me a info at intothepintclass.com. And I'd be more than happy to answer any other questions.
What was that again?
Info at, actually, that's our general. Go ahead and do pint club at intothepintclass.com.
What was that again?
I want to hear that one more time.
Pint club at intothepintclass.com. Sorry, my
That's
Yeah.
okay.
No,
And
I like
Minnesota
it.
accents
No,
might
repeat.
sound
Yeah.
weird.
Everybody gets it.
we have a big tie into Chris. Chris knows us, so
Yeah.
he can reach out to us and we can get
Yeah.
him in contact with
Into
you
the
too.
pint glass
into the
.com.
And
just
was
go there.
What's the
Yeah,
Facebook? What's the Facebook page?
Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram are all just drink or into the pint NE for Nebraska.
NE.
There, NE Nebraska, and any of those you can reach.
We
us
converted
up.
you. When did you come from Minnesota to Nebraska?
2.5 years ago. I love it here.
Well,
Yeah.
and
Almost
also
great.
I love
at
it
the
here.
after
It's a hell of a lot warmer.
hold on,
Less
Grant,
mosquitoes.
Grant, at the after
Bing,
talk.
bing, bing, bing.
Let's go a little further
Yeah.
back into his history because it's more interesting.
Yeah, oh yeah. There's a lot of history.
All right.
in that.
Do we
So-
have any more sour left?
We do. But let me close this out real quick. Yeah, let me close this out. We're going to get into the after talk. So we started off with Three Lions by Pint 9. We did Electric Cloud by Lucky Bucket. Then we did a London Elixir by Vis Major, and then the Lost Galaxy, also by Vis Major. We did Papio Creek by Farnham House, and we are now currently drinking and ending the program with Bella Diva from Brickway Brewery and Distillery.
Which is now going on the shelf.
Yes.
Nice little bomber.
Added to the shelf. All right. Sean, thank you for joining us.
John,
Grant,
thank you for having me.
thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And join us next week as we solve the world's problems one drink at a time.
I'm Britt.
I'm Brian.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Grant.
Have a good night.